All right, welcome everybody to Chalice and Chains. We are officially live. I am super excited because we are playing the Sunday Sandbox, but with a twist today. I'm very excited that I'm getting to sit in the player's chair, playing Grand Admiral Zaarin of the Imperial Fleet. And today we are going to be playing... The bad guys were playing the Empire in orbit over Toydaria, kind of sticking with the theme of filling out some of the background material from the normal Sunday Sandbox campaign. And so Anthony, who you guys may know, who plays Ingot, I can't even say grumpy droid bounty hunter because he doesn't have any emotion. But the pragmatic droid bounty hunter, has graciously agreed to run some pretty awesome Age of Rebellion style mass combat, space combat for us today. So very excited. So we've got that, and we have, of course, Corey, Rory, and Chris playing our Inferno Squadron commanders. That will be getting in their state-of-the-art, brand new TIE Defenders, hopefully to take on some Rebel scum. And just for some background information, the premise that set this whole thing up was that the crew in our normal campaign has gone to Toydaria, ostensibly to take a job, sort of a job to prove themselves worthy of the Hutts. And while there, we're caught up in basically a terrorist bombing of an admiral. Not an admiral, sorry, an Imperial Governor. He survived, but now the Empire is trying to lock the planet down, and that crew is trying to get out of there. However, and the Empire does not necessarily have a big presence in Hutt space, and so the Star Destroyer that was in orbit has called for reinforcements, and we will find out more information about that in just a minute. So, Anthony, if you want to go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, thanks, Sam, for letting me do this. I think it's gonna be a really good night. So, we're gonna jump right into it, and so there's a crawl that I made that accompanies like the intro to this. So if we're watching a Star Wars movie, it would open up with that crawl. And then this next scene, what I'm going to do is describe a few scenes to kind of set the mood and open it up for the narrative part, description part of what is going to happen tonight or what is happening. So on Toydaria right now, like imagine every household, every receptor, this like hologram appears on it, like as if someone hacked into the mainframe of the Toydaria network and just, broadcasting this signal, this message. And this picture of this man comes up, very, haggard. He looks like he's worn and beaten, and it's like the 3D hologram image, and it begins to speak, and it kind of goes, "People of Toydaria, it is I, Saw Gerrera, who the Empire killed on Jeddah, but my spirit goes on, and our lust for resisting the Empire continues. I bid you all today to join the Partisans. We are here to free you from the clutches of Governor Jax. It was a ploy. You must revolt. The Toydarian king, he cannot be trusted. People, take up your arms and join us. The Rebel Alliance no longer wears the glory that they once said. They are fuel of bureaucracy, failing to take action. But we will do what must be done to free us from the tyranny of the Empire. People of Toydaria, now is the time for action." And then it kind of like fades, and you see like this image of Toydaria, and you see the Star Destroyer in orbit as if someone is kind of filming it, and this sudden fleet just comes out of hyperspace, and it appears to be ships that are associated with the Rebel Alliance, but obviously the Partisans had their own fleet, and the Empire right now on Toydaria is kind of like trying to track this signal. They don't know where it's coming from. This guy's supposed to be dead. What's going on? The Star Destroyer is caught off guard, and this next scene is going to kind of give us a glimpse of what this in the movie kind of would look like, and it's just complete and utter chaos. There's just X-wings coming in, B-wings flying in, and you see this B-wing bomber run being made on the Star Destroyer in space that's unable to scramble its fighters. And it had recently put out a distress signal beforehand because there was a small elite group of partisan commandos that were attacking the main capital city of Toydaria. And you see the Star Destroyer start to just erupt and blow up. You see Alliance transport ships dropping to the ground and dropping off soldiers, and it's just chaos. The small Imperial garrison is completely overwhelmed and caught off guard, and this is like a no holds barred combat scenario. There's just bombs going off everywhere. The Partisans don't seem to be really concerned with civilian casualties. They're almost going through the street and pointing their weapons at people to see if they're going to join them, or if they look like they're resisting, they're just mowing them down. So it's complete and utter chaos. And that's kind of where we're going to close this scene out. And we're going to kind of do the one day earlier type thing. So one day earlier. And this is going to take us to our characters here who are playing. So we have Grand Admiral Zaarin's fleet has been summoned by Emperor Palpatine to Endor, to the Forest Moon of Endor. And Grand Admiral Zaarin, you had you found and scouted Endor with the Emperor himself as a possible construction site for the second Death Star. And we're going to kind of go to the bridge now, and you're going to be surrounded by your, worthy elite Inferno Squadron commanders. You have these TIE defenders that are prototypes that you've developed, and you want them to kind of test out. And you're not really sure why the Emperor summoned you here. You don't know what's going on in Toydaria at the moment. So I kind of want to just see what you guys want to role play. We're going to put you here on the bridge and just role play kind of what you're doing, Grand Admiral Zaarin. Over to you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you. So the first thing you would notice is that Admiral Zaarin is not dressed in the pristine white of a grand admiral, but instead wears the gray uniform that the normal admirals would wear. Something that he's kind of known for, and would maybe endear him a little bit to the crew. He's definitely more a man of the people. And I would look around to my squadron commanders, and I would imagine that we're all a little bit nervous, being that probably waiting a communique from the Emperor. And as we stare out of the bridge at the Forest Moon, kind of out the viewports, I turn around and I look to Inferno Squadron and I say, "Commanders, shortly we will be given our orders from the Emperor himself. You have been assigned to my detail because you are the very best that the Empire has to offer. And because of that, we feel that you deserve the very best weaponry that the Empire has to offer. You may have heard of the new TIE Defender. Well, today you will get to not only hear, but fly this state-of-the-art ship, the very best that Imperial engineers have been able to construct. And it is you," and I motion to each of you, "that get the honor of the first flight. Please, tell me, are you ready for this mission, whatever it might be?" And I guess I would look to Inferno 1 first.
Admiral Zaarin, you know as well as I that you talked very, very at length with all three of us about these experimental ships. Even if you have even asked for our input to see how it would be conceptualized into the reality. Do you think I'm not ready for this ship? It's going to be even more maneuverable than the Interceptor that I've been flying for years. I'm very, very ready and very excited, my Admiral.
Excellent.
And real quick, Raxel, if you can just kind of like describe like your characters, you know, a little bit about them for the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. Raxel is a human. He average build, average height. And actually, no, not average build. He is underneath that fantastic, top of his class. I don't even know. They wear a flight suit that is different than everybody else's. They wear that real like almost wet leather looking flight suit. But he's not in that today. He's wearing grays just like everybody else, as they would be on the flight deck, because we don't know exactly what's going on. And you can tell that this is a very fit person. He takes this very seriously. This is the only life he's ever known. And he's done very well for his family. And luckily, the name Raxel, Windtide is known within the Empire, and he knows it, but he's humble.
Nice, excellent. And so, Sam, would Grand Admiral Zaarin be, asking the next guys what if they're ready?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, of course, then I would look to Inferno 2 and kind of nod and say, Inferno 2, I suspect you share the same excitement as Inferno 1. Tell me, what is on your mind?
Indeed, sir. We've waited for this moment, and we fly for the glory of the Empire when we get in our cockpits today, and just can't wait to see how they fly.
Indeed.
She's a fairly tall woman, not real tall, but about 5'7", long, dark, wavy hair, and she too is extremely fit, as you would expect of pilots in the top ranks. And her eyes just lit up with barely contained excitement when she heard him say the words that we were going to fly, finally, in these new TIE fighters.
Now, you would also, just for the audience, Inferno 2 her name's Mercedes, but she's a female pilot, and that alone, her being a female in the Imperial Navy and a pilot, and then also an Inferno Squadron, she is probably the most deadly female fighter pilot in the Imperial, stronghold or Empire, period. So she's a big deal. Cool.
So,
all right.
Hold on one second. So Raxel turns to Mercedes and goes, "You're the biggest badass out of all of us. We know that. We know that nobody goes into battle harder and charges harder than you there, Mercedes. We grew up in the same pods and went to the same academies and such. It's an honor to finally be able to fly these defenders with you.
It's an honor to fly with all of you. And sir, it's an honor to fly under your command." I turn to the Admiral with that last comment. And Mercedes' posture is just stick straight, too. She's just, straight, narrow, and serious when it comes to her job.
Awesome. And as you say that, I would give you a formal salute, and then kind of thinking back on the fact that Inferno Squadron is fairly.
I think we lost you, Sam.
Can you
popping in and out really crazy?
Oh, can you not hear me?
I'm hearing him loud and clear.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Me as well.
That must be me. Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, okay, you guys can hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and so
Cool.
I'm just thinking back to the fact that Inferno Squadron is the elite of the Empire, and that I finally get the elite pilots in this project that I have worked on so hard. And so it would be difficult for me to contain my excitement, but you can definitely tell that it is tempered by this major apprehension. And finally, I look to Inferno 3, and I would look and I would say, and you, Inferno 3, new aboard this ship, just as the rest of your companions. Tell me, how are you feeling about this opportunity to fly these ships? What's going through your mind?
The Admiral is met with a quick salute, and it's almost perfect, as would usually be. But even this elite pilot twitches his hand a little. The anticipation is palpable. Of any pilot, Elrakis is the most excited to fly. His ethos embodies the empirical might makes right more than anyone, and he is impressed every day when he walks out onto Imperial bridges and sees the extent of their technological capacity. And he is just sweating with anticipation. He almost stammers for once in his life. But he eventually goes, "Sir, I dream about this ship. When I eat, I think about this ship. I cannot wait to take it out and show the universe what the Empire can do."
Very good, Commander, very good. I have a feeling that we would only be called up against the very best that the Empire has to offer. Sorry, so the rebels have to offer.
So it's about this time that, like, your Acerator class command dreadnoughts coming out of hyperspace to the Forest Moon of Endor, and before you see none other than a very familiar sight. It's the Forest Moon, but you see the Executor, the Executor, the Super Star Destroyer, and on screen pops an Imperial officer, and he's kind of like he's very poised in his Imperial uniform. Says, "Sir, Grand Admiral, it is a pleasure. I've heard greatness about you." And he's kind of like nervous, like he's talking to a celebrity almost, but he kind of straightens up a little bit. And he says, "The Emperor is awaiting your arrival. We'll send over a Lambda-class shuttle to pick you up and your squadron commanders. He wishes an audience with each of you to discuss some important details. We'll send that over, sir. Is that okay?"
It is certainly fine. However, there is no need. We have a shuttle prepped and ready. We anticipated this. If you
he kind of like wipes his brow. He's like, "Yes, sir. I'm sorry. It's foolish. I should have known that yours was equipped with one." And he kind of like, you can see he's like really nervous talking to you.
That's right. And can I tell or know what his call sign is?
Well, the Super Star Destroyer is Executor, but he's just you can see that he's a lieutenant. Like he's kind of like a All
right, I figured, communications officer or whatever. All right, and it says, "It is not a problem, Lieutenant. We will be over shortly. Please transmit the docking codes to my shuttle, and we will arrive momentarily."
And he goes, "Yes, sir." And then he transmits it over. Your bridge crew gets the codes, and one of the deck officers says, "Sir, we have the codes. You are able to launch when you are prepared."
Very good. Prep the shuttle.
So you guys prep the shuttle, and if you want to, we'll do a quick scene in the shuttle for any last minute things you guys have. But that the request that was sent over you, like the instructions, like you're going into the docking bay of like the Emperor. So like when you get off the ship, there's like a short walk, and then it's going to be like his little throne room that's kind of aboard that Super Star Destroyer there. So you guys, are flying over. I'll let you have a moment here if you want to say anything to each other.
Is it cool if I mess with the suit a little bit? Like if I just say that I'm doing something with it?
Yeah, absolutely. You whatever your characters would be doing, like you're going to, the commanders. This is probably very unusual. Like Grand Admiral Zaarin, he's one of the 12 Grand Admirals, so he's dealt with the Emperor before, but you all never probably dreamed of meeting him or being summoned. So your characters might be a little bit intimidated by that.
Alrakis is going to kind of have sat down almost immediately after the shuttle takes off, and he's going to be pressing some controls on the side of his flight helmet, which he's put on, even though he doesn't actually need to be wearing it here. But he's launching a simulator for the new Defender, and you would basically see him like with his hands where the controls would usually be, and he's like moving, and in his head he's hearing the engines roaring, and he's flying around and getting used to the new ability of these spacecraft.
Awesome. Anyone else, Grand Admiral or the other Inferno?
Yeah, I think that as Arrakis is kind of like getting into his sort of his flight simulator, he would all of a sudden feel a strong grip on his shoulder, and maybe kind of pulling him out of it for just a minute, and it's the Admiral, and I would say to him, I appreciate your dedication, Commander. You will be in the cockpit shortly, but I must warn you, there is a certain propriety that the Emperor expects. I would recommend that you and you could tell that there's this it's barely perceptible, but it's there, this sort of derisive tone to my voice, and I would say, pick your words carefully. Only respond to the Emperor if he asks you a direct question, and answer with as few words as possible. He knows things sometimes, but he is not here to do anything to any of you. He will just simply wish to brief us on the mission. So do not feel the need, or do not let your nerves get the better of you. I'm sure you won't, though.
Mercedes.
Inferno 1 or 2. Inferno 2, what do you got?
Yeah, I turn to Inferno 1 and look him in the eye and say, gonna be good to fly with you today, but I gotta admit I'm a little bit nervous about this one.
I can totally understand. Admiral?
Yes.
I believe the Dark Lord will be here as well.
Well, it's hard to tell, but typically...
Admiral Zaarin would probably be privy to, like, know that he probably wouldn't be here with the Emperor.
Right, yeah, it's like the Emperor's lapdog is usually not aboard the Emperor's ship. He's got his own duties to attend to. I don't expect that we will see Lord Vader here.
Very well. It's a bit of a boyhood dream. But we are meeting the Emperor today. It's, as the three of us, we've known each other quite a long time, and it's something that we've ever said that we may be able to do. But what could be so interesting out here, so far away from everything? Do you know anything, the Admiral, so we can have a little bit of leg up?
And you would definitely see a sense of concern or a look of concern come across my face at that, and I would say, your best bet would be not to ask questions, to simply answer yes or no if you are asked questions. The Emperor will divulge only what he thinks is important. But I will tell you, asking questions of the Emperor's plans is never a good idea.
Yeah, that's not going to be easy for me, Admiral.
Well,
I'm very inquisitive.
let me just advise, try to keep it in check, Commander. I do need you here for this mission. And the Emperor can be... And then I
unreasonable.
Hesitate. Yeah.
Unreasonable, as I've heard.
Yes, unreasonable. Doesn't always make the best decisions.
I'm sure Inferno 1 can bite his tongue for a few moments. And I give you a hard look, like, behave yourself.
Well, blood in my mouth, as my father's always said, and some of the instructors, blood in your mouth sometimes beats blood in the ground. So, thank you for this opportunity once again, there, Admiral. It's quite an honor.
One of the pilots, he turns around and says, "Sir, we begin docking momentarily."
Very good.
And then the shuttle kind of like, you see it coming in the hangar bay. And there's several royal guards in crimson red that are like in the actual hangar. And there's a advisor to the Emperor who is there like waiting to escort you. And as the ramp comes down to the shuttle, the advisor, he's kind of like hunched over a little bit with his hands clasped together, and he's waiting at the bottom with the two royal guards, and he sees you coming down, and he says, Grand Admiral Zaarin, a pleasure, such a pleasure.
The pleasure.
Hey, real quick, before we get too much further, you said Endor, right?
Correct.
Is Toydaria and Endor in the same system? I just don't know enough about.
No, they are not in the same system.
Okay, very good. All right. I wanted to get that straight in my head because my person would know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so as he's as this what I perceive to be a sycophant basically says this, I say, the pleasure is mine, I'm sure.
He says, yes. Well, right this way. As you know, the pleasantries with the Emperor, you've dealt with him quite some time. I hope you had a few moments aboard the shuttle to brief your... and he turns to the others, and your duly endowed pilots there. And he kind of has like a smugness about him. He's not really like fond of... He kind of... Even though they're elite, he probably thinks of them as like peons, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, he walks you over and he says, is there any questions you might have before we allow you into his audience chamber?
And at this point, I would say, no, not from you. I'm sure the Emperor will reveal exactly what he means to reveal to us.
Yes. I hope you have a due and just conversation with our most illustrious Emperor. And he nods to the guards, and the guards go over and they hit the repulsor lift, and it kind of opens up, and it looks like it's a small, repulsor lift elevator that's going to take you up several flights. So do you guys get in?
Absolutely. I expect that there are no railings on this thing, right? Because this is an Imperial... No, just kidding.
Yeah. No, there's, it's like a tube almost, and the floor is going to just go straight up. So
nice.
Let's see here. So you guys go into the repulsor lift, and the Royal Guards, they hit it, and it's just you guys now in the repulsor lift, and it goes up, and it's relatively fast and quick. And then the doors, it stops, and there's like a moment where the doors are just there, and then they slowly begin to open. You hear the... And there's this just darkness, this dark foreboding wave of emotion that just overcomes everyone. And you see this silhouette standing up by a viewport, and you see these royal guards that flank him. It's so dark you can't really even make out their crimson red. And you hear someone start to speak to you all, and he says, Good, Admiral Zaarin. It is about time I had acquaintance with you. It's been quite a while since we were the Forest Moon. And then he kind of sits down and he turns and he says, approach. Approach. Do you guys approach the Emperor?
Absolutely.
I'm following the Grand Admiral's lead.
Yeah. I think the decorum, and they would probably know this, would be that I would go first, and that they would wait maybe like a second or two and then follow. And yes, I would approach the Emperor as close as is appropriate for my station, and then say, Emperor Palpatine, the pleasure is mine.
And he kind of sits down and he turns around and he's now looking at all of you. And he says, I have brought you here to discuss an important mission that can wipe out a significant portion of the rebellion and allow us to use the propaganda to grow our influence into Hutt space. Not only that, but an opportunity to test your TIE defenders, which we have spent much resources on, Grand Admiral. I hope you do not disappoint us.
I don't expect that I will disappoint, but you said hot space.
Yes. And he kind of he pushes a button on his chair there, and this hologram comes before you all, and it's a massive hologram that shows the planet Toydaria. Grand Admiral Zaarin, you would, a man of your stature would immediately identify this, and you'd kind of be thrown off why the hell he's showing you that. And he would begin to start talking, and he'd say, our Imperial Service Bureau and intelligence agents have planted information within several partisan cells they've infiltrated, leaking the information of Governor Doran Jack's mission to Toydaria to align ourselves with the Toydarian king. It was their foolishness of the Partisans, their hatred, their rambunctiousness that has sought them to think they can destroy our meager Imperial forces stationed there. We have planned for this, and therefore I am giving you an interdictor cruiser to halt all hyperspace travel within the system, and I demand your Acerator cruiser and your TIE defenders go there and destroy whatever pathetic partisan presence is there. Once we destroy them, we shall send a clear message to all who harbor the Rebel Alliance and terrorist organizations, even in Hutt space, that the wrath of the Empire will not harbor or be held safe anywhere in this empire. And he kind of slams his fist down, and he says, is your fleet and your TIE defenders ready for this mission?
We are ready, of course, but why Hutt space? We have always had a policy of, well, since it went poorly for us the last time, of non-intervention there.
He nods kind of at you and he says, I know you are wise, and you are very well versed in our past grievances with the Hutts. I would not have asked you to do this if it were not for a disturbance in the Force that I have foreseen. That is why, and he turns to like this door, and it opens up, and he says, I am sending my hand, Arden Lin, with you on this mission. And he opens up this door, and this female with like a robotic arm kind of walks out. And he says, there is something the Force has shown me. A disturbance on Toydaria. I cannot see what it is. It is weak, but I feel its magnitude might grow over time. It is a threat that I cannot allow to exist, and I am sending her with you to ensure that whatever this is duly investigated. And she comes out silently and like goes to the flank of where your Inferno Squadron commanders are, and she just kind of sits there silently, and she nods at the Grand Admiral.
And I would give her a nod back, and then I would turn to the Emperor, and I say, "Of course, my squadron will be ready. But what is the nature of this mission? I mean, just as much as we have had non-intervention policies with the Hutts, so have the rebel scum. Are you saying that we should expect aerial combat?"
We expect the partisan fleet and what remains of it to be at Toydaria. There you shall catch them with your interdictor and obliterate them. It will be a severe blow to the Rebel Alliance and to that partisan cells. In addition, Arden Lin will investigate this disturbance on Toydaria, and perhaps we can find out what other information or what the Force is attempting to show us there. I am not asking you to take over the system, but if the opportunity presents itself, that is for you to decide. In fact, I will allow it to be one of the systems under your command, Grand Admiral. And in addition to that, if you prove successful, I will ensure the Empire funds your next project into researching the TIE Phantoms you so much desire with their cloaking devices.
And that gives me pause, because I very much want the TIE Phantom project to be funded, but this just seems the height of folly, and I hesitate for a moment, and then I say, "Your Excellency, I must protest this mission. I know that you have seen something in the Force, and perhaps we could bring Miss Lin here, but
And with that, you start to feel like your throat starts to get really tight, and he says, and you start to, like, you know, it's harder to breathe as you talk every moment until it's a full blown. You can't breathe. And the Inferno Squadron commanders are watching this, and he says, and he kind of stands up from his chair now, and he says, "Grand Admiral Zaarin, if I requested to hear your discrepancies and concerns about my plan and visions of the Force, I would have asked you. You are here for one simple thing. To do as I please. Have I made myself clear?" And then he relents on your, and you're able to kind of breathe again.
Perfectly clear, my Emperor.
And he turns to the Inferno Squadron commanders and he looks at them, and he says, "I do not normally do this, but in this case I've heard great things about what you have done for your empire." And he has he kind of like nods to a guard, and they bring over a small box, about 3 boxes, and they're very small, about the size of like an iPhone. And he walks over to each of the Inferno commanders. He goes to Inferno 1 first, and he opens it up, and inside it's an Imperial cross, one of the highest Imperial Navy commendations that can be given to a pilot or anyone in the service of the Empire. And he presents it to you, and he says, "This is for your service. If you fail me on Toydaria, not only will you lose this, but I will ensure you lose your life." And then he kind of, pushes it in your chest almost. Do you say anything to him?
Raxel's eyes open up like saucers at the sight of the cross. And for one of the first times in his life, he's almost speechless. He is speechless.
He goes to Inferno 2, and he does the same thing, opens the box, and he says to you, "It has been a long-standing policy within the Empire that the female gender was not capable of flying such capable crafts as TIE fighters, let alone a TIE defender. He says, I have taken pause and notice of your actions. Do not fail me." And he kind of hands over the cross to Inferno 2.
"No, sir. Thank you, sir." And I salute him.
He nods. And he goes last to Inferno 3, and he presents the cross, and he says, he could kind of see that, like he's probably sensing your obsession with the TIE Defender, and you're probably just your emotional state. And he says,
My utter admiration.
"Yeah, yeah." And he says, "Do not fail me. I can tell you this: if you succeed on this mission, your abilities will be fully realized as you are given access to the TIE Phantom. That will be guaranteed. Of course, if you come back alive and accomplished." And he hands you your cross. And Arden standing there. Oh, sorry. Inferno 3, do you say anything to him? He's kind of waiting for you.
He just kind of takes the box and grasps the pin and then goes to one knee and just says, "My Emperor."
And he nods. And he looks at Arden Lin. And now, Admiral Zaarin, you would know of Arden Lin, like, she's the hand to the Emperor. But maybe this is the time that you may have that you actually get to speak with her one-on-one once you're back aboard your ship. So he says, "Grand Admiral, do you have anything else? If not, you are dismissed."
No, I do not, my Emperor. We will not fail you.
Remember to destroy all presence of the Rebel Alliance there. Whatever decisions you make are your own. Failure will be met with the most gruesome of punishments. And then he kind of just walks back to his chair and sits down. And he turns back to the viewport. And you're clearly free to go.
And I would motion for the commanders to kind of go along to head back to the ship as quickly as possible, and then I would kind of hold my hand out to Arden Lin, not for her to take it, but just simply motioning for her, please go ahead.
And she does. She kind of remaining quiet here in the presence of the Emperor, and she kind of like her eyes dart at you because maybe something you said earlier resonated with her. And you could see there's a small, you could see that you could maybe talk to her. She seems approachable to you.
Sure.
As she walks back towards the repulsor lift to your shuttle.
Absolutely. And I think that I would not speak with her while we're on the Emperor's ship, but I will address the commanders, and I will say, well, you've heard that, and you've been given the Imperial Cross. Let me assure you, you must earn that cross. We cannot fail in this mission. And then I think you guys might see sort of the crack in the facade here. And I would say, but I fear, at least for me, there is no success to this mission. And then I would kind of back up and remain silent.
Awesome. So yeah, that's the commanders would be kind of like, that's some heavy stuff for a Grand Admiral to say to you. So do you guys head back to your ship? Do you want me to put you back on the bridge of the Acerator, or do you want to stay around here for anything?
I mean, I think
just long enough. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say just long enough to put my cross on.
Nice.
Which I would do quickly. Very proud.
Awesome. So, as you walk back towards your shuttle, the advisor's there, and he's kind of like, he says, "I hope your meeting with our illustrious Emperor is pleasant."
And sorry, and involuntarily, my hand goes to my throat a little bit, and I kind of rub it, and I'm like, it was about what we expected, yes.
Yeah, he kind of nods, like he knows what you're talking about. And Arden, he's quiet, and she's just marching towards your shuttle, and she boards it. And as you guys get on, the guards are standing there still in the Imperial officers say, "Sir, are you ready to disembark back to the accelerator?"
Affirmative. Let us get out of here.
Okay, and you guys head back, and you make it back to the bridge. And now, I'm sorry, Sam. What was the accelerator's name that you're calling it? What capital ship's name?
I think I called it the Eviscerator.
Okay, the Eviscerator. Okay,
Yeah.
so you make it back to the bridge of the Eviscerator, and Arden is there with you, with the other commanders, squadron commanders, and she says, "Yes, Grand Admiral, it is a pleasure to finally meet you and be able to accompany you on such a mission as this. But I believe what you said had some merit. Although the Emperor is quite convinced that there's some disturbance in the force he felt, that should warrant this type of endeavor."
I fear the implications of the Emperor's plan, if I may be so bold, Miss Lin. I know the Emperor is wise, and I know that he has great power with the Force, but this is not a prudent plan. Your presence here, I understand. If there is a disturbance in the Force, it makes sense, but to take this kind of action against the Hutts, this puts us in a vulnerable position. I cannot. And I think I paused for just a moment, and I think Inferno Squad would probably recognize that this would be very sort of uncharacteristic of a Grand Admiral to be saying this stuff in their presence, but
You can see she has some agreement with you. She says, "Well, whatever the decision once we get there, if there is a disturbance in the force, I shall carry out my duties to investigate it. However, whatever military action or diplomatic efforts you wish to engage in is a decision that you have been empowered to make. But I will ask you to consider that at the end, you do gain the research you so desire with your TIE Phantoms. This can be good for you, although it may be bad for others." She kind of like, rolls her eyes a little bit as if she's talking about someone she doesn't want to really name in front of other people right now. And she says, "Can your commanders be trusted?" And she looks over at the Inferno to see kind of how they're responding to this conversation.
I just catch her eye. I just look her in the eye with a steady gaze and just that military, stick straight posture.
What about Inferno 1 and 3?
Inferno 3 is just kind of straight backed and listening, but not really showing any response. It's in the nature of an Imperial pilot to know that they are fairly expendable despite their talent.
And
Yeah,
Raxel?
very much so. One is staring out the viewport, looking at the stars, almost as if he's not paying attention. And he only just nods at Miss Lin. And the color of his skin has kind of come back. But for a while there, he was very white.
So the one of the deck officers says, "Grand Admiral, we've received a tactical data packet from the Executor." And he says, "We've uploaded it now to our systems. It appears that we have been given the coordinates to Toydaria. And once we enter the system, if we initiate now, we should be catching the partisan fleet by surprise. And we have our reinforcements and our cruisers ready to go at your command.
Very good. And then I look to Arden Lin first, and I say, these commanders are the very best in the Empire. You have no cause to fear that they are not trustworthy. And then I will turn to them and I will say, commanders, prepare your crews.
So, Admiral Zaarin, as you go through like the data packet with information, it appears that you've been given command. You're going to have your eviscerator, your capital ship there, and the Emperor kind of wants you just to use that and an interdictor cruiser. This is a moment where the eviscerator has never really seen real combat, and this is both a test of your eviscerator capital ship, which is very rare for anyone to ever see, as well as the TIE Defender. So this is kind of a moment for you to like take a very small footprint, so to speak, and use it to obliterate like what's a substantial rebel fleet.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, I'm thinking about this, tactically, and I know that we will have superior firepower should I tangle with them one-on-one, but without knowing quite yet the makeup of the fleet and what we're looking at.
So that information, if you look for it, it would be in there from the Imperial Agency, and it actually looks like the Partisans, they're in a weird relationship with the Alliance as a whole. They are affiliated with the Rebel Alliance, but they're their own kind of cell that they organized with. After Saw Gerrera died, his lieutenant took over that.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the tactical information for their fleet is 2 Moncal cruisers and about 4 or 5 Nebulon B frigates, and a substantial portion of, they have a lot of bombers, B-wing bombers, and they are known to have a very highly trained partisan pilot who is like probably in that fleet somewhere. Like he would be kind of like, not as the Alliance has like Wedge Antilles and everything. This guy's kind of like the hobo version of that. You know what I mean? He's with the Partisans, but he's still pretty good. So he might be leading like an X-wing squadron or something like that.
Sure. Okay. And I think maybe as the before the commanders leave, I would present them with this information as well, and I would say, you guys are empowered to use your best judgment when you are engaged with the enemy, but I recommend 2 things. 1, should you need getting close, use the eviscerator as cover, use our firepower if necessary, and also take out those bombers. You leave the capital ships to me. The more bombers you destroy, you will bring out, you will draw out their fleet, and when you find their ace, you destroy him. Understood?
Absolutely, sir. Are we ready to be worried about the worms?
And I say,
I like it.
You just worry about doing your job and making sure that medal pinned to your chest is not pinned to a dead man's chest. Do you understand?
I would not like to make this a dying day today.
Neither would I. You are dismissed.
When he turns around and Doug salutes him, very precisely turns around and walks towards before the other 2.
Nice. And I would just prep the bridge crew and all that to, and the ship in general to make preparations for combat once we jump into Hut Space into Toydaria.
Yep, they're ready to. It appears that based off the data that once you make the jump and you exit out of hyperspace, it's going to be like the Rebel fleet will be there. So they're getting their gunners like briefed and ready and stuff like that. The other Inferno Squadron commanders, you all have your own squads, or squadrons. Do you want to, how would your characters be kind of like getting them ready? Because you're going to kind of suit up right now and get ready for this battle.
Well, there's the obvious actually fitting into the arms and legs of the suit. But I imagine when we place the helmet on and it's just kind of fits it into each lock, you have to then take two like kind of these vacuum hoses and sort of extend them up into the helmet, and that's sort of a constant vacuum going on. So, and then you feel the compression kind of around the head just snugly, so the helmet feels like it's vacuum sealed to you, and start to run through buttons on the side of the helm and the side of the and on the chest, opening up comm links and status reports, which would link to the craft once I'm near it. And I'm basically running through all the system diagnostics, which play audio in my helmet, and I go through each one. And I mean, at least Inferno 3 is silently checking these away in his head, nodding his head perhaps. That's all anybody else would see.
Nice. Inferno 2?
Inferno 2 suits up with her crew, and before helmets go on, she looks at her squad and just says, "Men, we have our orders. Follow my lead, and let's be safe out there."
Yes, ma'am. And they kind of like salute you, and they're holding their salute, waiting for you.
Do me proud, boys. And she puts her helmet on and boards her ship.
Do you return their salute?
Yes.
Okay. Once you do that, they kind of salute back and they go to get ready. And then with that, we'll take a quick
wait.
Oh, sorry, Inferno 1. Yeah, my bad. Sorry, Inferno.
Yeah. So
your crew. Yeah, how are you getting your crew ready?
So the scene actually opens to one single pilot outside of what looks like a bathroom.
Classy.
And it looks like a bathroom. You would know that. And you hear the sound of upchucking inside, from inside the room. And after a few moments, the door opens and Raxel appears. And he looks at his number one and says, "I'm glad you've always kept this a secret. But anytime it gets very serious, I get that stage fright, and you know that. It's it's the biggest one ever." And he puts his hand on his shoulder. "And I know we'll be fine. Let's get the boys together and get ready to go. You've always been good to me. Thank you very much." And he kind of slaps him on the face a couple times. And you see, as the scene cuts, there is sweat on his brow. And when you look outside, you see the look of the streaking light just as we're about to hit Lake Street.
Nice. And then Admiral Zaarin, I imagine you gave the order, correct, to jump?
Yep.
All right, yeah. So on the break, we'll cut the scene will close. The streaks of hyperspace are going out. It goes from Inferno 1, he's sweating. It starts to light up, and then the last thing I would imagine would be like Admiral Zaarin's close up of his face, on the bridge. And what would be like the facial expression that he'd have?
I think one of it would be a look that anyone who had been with him after previous meetings with the Emperor would know well. It is one of apprehension, not because I don't believe that we will be victorious, but because I believe we will be victorious. And the repercussions of that might be worse.
Nice. Awesome. With that, we'll take a 5-minute bio and beverage break, but we're getting into it, so be ready. Hold on to your butts.
Oh, I got a bad feeling about that.
Hold on to your butts.
Oh boy. And so it begins. The Imperial attack on Hut Space.
Hell yeah. This is so cool. The other thing about this is that this could also jump off the other side of the game that we want to play, which is kind of cool. So
Yep.
this is yeah, that just jumped into my head. I thought that was a neat little trick to put in there that he's a nervous dude.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? It gives him some humanality.
Yeah, I like it.
You know?
Some character. It's good stuff for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, man, I thought he was gonna choke the shit out of him.
Well, I fully expected it. As soon as I was like thinking in my head, I'm going to question the Emperor. I was like, "Yep, I'm going to get choked out." But
Yeah, right after you said not to, too. Boy, oh boy.
well, I told you guys not to. I don't want you getting choked out by the Emperor, but I'm hopeful that I'm a little bit more valuable, and that he wouldn't kill me.
Well, he put you in your place, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, immediately, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, shut up, bitch!
Yep. Precisely what I expected to happen. So yeah.
That's precisely what you would have done if you were controlling the Emperor.
Oh, for sure. Oh, show.
I was impressed. That was super badass. I was like, what?
Yeah, that was definitely a little scary. And man, Anthony killed it with that depiction too.
That was awesome.
I missed some of that because my internet decided to take a shit at me, and then I had to actually before it did that, it got weird. Like I said, I couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
And then I restarted my computer, and then you know how that works sometimes.
Yep.
You just restart the machine, it just fucking starts working again. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
doing its thing now. So
I don't know. It's so crazy. Like, this is like the best that Chris's mic has ever been too. I don't know what's up, but
don't
like,
jinx it.
well, yeah, hopefully.
I guess it's my turn today.
If well, you know what you could do though, if you're having communication problems, you could just play it off in game as like, you know, my comms aren't working. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like,
All right, I'm back.
Oh, I can't
Hey,
get this
Corey, is your internet cut out?
No, yeah, I mean, I cut out there for a minute. So now, what did I miss? What did the Emperor say in the beginning?
He went over the plan for, or like why he was sending you guys to Toydaria, which pretty much, they knew, like they leaked the information that the Imperial Governor was going to be there, knowing it, like with just a Star Destroyer, knowing that if they leaked it to the Partisans, it would be a very soft target to try to assassinate him. So it's an ambush that the Emperor kind of set up to catch their fleet by surprise with you guys, and then just obliterate them.
Okay,
And then
very
also,
good.
and then he thinks he's sending a message to anyone in the galaxy that no matter where you are in Hut space or anywhere, like you're not safe from the clutches of the Empire.
Okay, very good.
And then, the last thing was he did sense something disturbance in the Force, and so he sent to investigate as well.
All right, and okay, just because I've got bad memory, when is this happening?
This is
It's going to be happening No.
I mean like in Star Wars time.
Oh, between Empire Strikes Back and New Hope.
Yep. So in that.
So based off canon, like we built this based off of, like Zaarin did, actually right after or like before. It's like in Zero. It's like right after the Death Star was blown up. Like he went to Endor, the Emperor, and like they discovered the Forest Moon for construction. So the timeline wise is kind of why that's kind of like why the story evolved.
No, it's perfect. So it's so we're not too shortly after. Okay,
Yeah,
so you know what I mean, Corey's trying to figure out in his head. So I know who you're talking about now as the pilot. You're talking about Luke. So
yeah, well, no, these are partisans. So Partisans are like I said, they're affiliated with the Alliance, but they are the more.
Yeah, they were kind of
when
like
they call
Saw
the rebels
Gerrera's
terrorists.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah. These are like the legit. When you hear like Imperials call Alliance terrorists, that is because of these guys. Like these guys are our terrorists. Like they are not. Like they will blow you up. They will kill civilians. You know what I mean? Like.
So so we're not talking about the rebels.
They are affiliated with the rebels too. Like they are a part of the Rebel Alliance, but they're not. They're like a extremist faction of them.
But not the nice guy Rebel Alliance that we all know.
Yeah, they're the
No.
Rogue One Rebel Alliance that we know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
And Arden's Lynn is, I do know that name.
She's the Emperor's hand.
Yeah.
And she was in a video game, Masters of Terra Casa, I believe.
Right. And that's why I know it.
Yeah.
Very good. I just want to be up to speed because I don't know a lot of. I know all the movies and I know some of the video game stuff, but I don't know all the super backstory stuff to it. And I just wanted to.
No. I'm glad you asked. Did you want to jump back in roll 20 if you can, or to do the rolls for this next phase? I didn't. It looks like
I was doing that right now. I'm doing it right now.
Cool. Okay.
I just wanted to make sure that it would all catch up and be all right, and it seems like it's going to. So,
Sam, what do you think so far?
Yeah, it's great. I am like really freaking nervous about the political ramifications here. Like, I'm just like, holy shit. And I feel like Kiga has now become a lot more powerful than I statted her to be, which is exciting. So
nice.
I'm not liking what that means for her outlook, though.
I am, because when we get to go back to the scene with Sasha and Ingot and Kiga in that transportation, it's well, we'll see how this ends. But
yeah.
And if Arden Lynn makes it down onto the planet, that's gonna change some things.
That's gonna be
This is why I'm really excited about this, because like I don't know what's gonna happen, and so I'm nervous. But like at the same time, it's exciting because I'm like, holy shit! Like this is gonna impact what happens in our regular sessions, and so I'm like, woohoo! Let's find out.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, like weird in a way, like from the DM perspective too, because normally you would like, kind of get your game plan together, but this is like you're playing your game plan, which is so cool. Like,
yes.
Yep.
Exactly. So I'm digging it, and I hope to get to blow the shit out of some partisans.
All right. So do we got everybody back? Are we good to go?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So. When we jump into this next part here, this is going to be kind of like the crunchy part, but I try to make it not as like more narrative focused. I kind of took care of a lot of the roles, but I will walk us through kind of some of the things to make it understandable and easy. And I think it'll be, like I said, we're going to have fun with this. So,
Anthony, is there a map or is there not?
There is. You're going to see it pop up in a second.
Okay. I just wanted to know if I should pop out or if I could just leave it in. So I'm gonna pop it out. It'll be a lot better. All right, thank you.
No problem. So we're good. I could jump into it, Sam.
Yep, go for it.
All right, sweet. So the hyperspace, lines are like fading. You're coming out of hyperspace. The camera pans to the hangar bay, and the TIE defenders are there. Their repulsor lifts are already ready, so they're like floating in the air. And as they come out of hyperspace, like they're just gonna like a beehive, like just swarm out. And let me read something here for you guys, just so you understand the magnitude of like the Eviscerator, because I don't think sometimes there's a good enough, even from a movie perspective, done to this. So the Eviscerator currently has 120 starfighters aboard. Okay, so I mean, there's a ton of starfighters. There are AT-ATs, there's AT-STs, there's landing barges. You see like stormtroopers getting ready to load up and like go down to the surface. There is a total of 125,000 people aboard that ship right now. So this is like no joke, crazy amount of like a full-on invasion force. And then you got the Interdictor, which has its own complement of crew and it has about 24 starfighters. So you're going to have about 150, 160 starfighters in this combat scene that we're going to see here. Okay, so I will say though, when we do go to the combat scene, you probably will be outnumbered by the rebels, but you definitely have them on firepower. So as you pull out of hyperspace here, we just jump right into it. Like you see the the Eviscerator pulls out of hyperspace. There's 2 Mon Calamaris. There's 4 Nebulon B frigates there. You see the B wings just blowing up that Star Destroyer that had been blown up earlier. And they are just like X-wings swarming around and tons of ships everywhere. Let me put this on real quick for you. Hold on. And then immediately the TIE fighters like begin to start swarming out, and it's just, and turbo lasers are going off, and you see on your screen, Admiral Zaarin, you get a like a holo call. And let's see here. You have this Twi'lek who's really ugly looking. He kind of addresses you. He says, "This is Admiral Bezar Fortuna of the Partisans and the Rebel Alliance. You shall be destroyed. You are entering a rebel planet. We have taken control from you. Leave now."
And as this happens, I would look to my communications officer to make sure that they've triangulated the signal from which ship that came from, and then I would say, and did you say it was Admiral Fortuna?
Yeah.
Okay, and I would say, Admiral Fortuna, you have made a grave mistake. This will be your last day for the glory of the Empire. And I will just I'll cut off communication there. And then I'll look to my my comms officer and I say, comms officer, jam any transmissions and make sure you've locked in on that ship. And then I look to, like my captains and whatever and my gunner crews, and I'm like, prepare to come about to triangulate fire on that command ship. I want to take that out if possible.
And they kind of go over to you and they, yes, sir, yes, sir. And the gunners, they have identified the capital ship. It is right here with the little flag on it. And the red dot, that seems to be where the call is coming. So the TIE defenders are out there swarming. And now I'm going to jump into kind of the rules part here. Okay.
Yep.
So this is, as you can see on the map, you each have the Inferno 1, 2, and 3. You all have your tokens. Do you see that with the range bands?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, and then the Eviscerator, you have your range bands as well. So think of this in a narrative sense that there's a lot going on. Okay. And when we do space combat, we're going to focus on a small part of that battle. There will be mass combat rules that are going to be handled by the Grand Admiral, and that's going to give the narrative outcome of the totality of the battle that's going on. But you, in the TIE Defenders, you can impact very specific, meaningful parts of the battle that will help those mass combat checks. So before we kind of jump into it, I just want to, the Eviscerator has enough range to hit every capital ship and every starfighter in this entire system. And the TIE Defenders, you have to be a little bit more close combat oriented. You do see there are 3 squadrons of B-Wings, and you do see this very odd-looking modified X-Wing that appears to be he's just going through, he's tearing up, TIE fighters. He's blowing them up. You know this to be the ace. So before I jump into the rules, I'm going to ask, which one of you, what do you want to fight? Who wants to take on, do you want to take on the B-Wings or do you want to take on the ace? Who wants to do what?
And do remember that the Admiral did tell you to find the ace and take him out.
Yeah. I'm going after the ace.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the ace over here, the X-Wing. He is on yours now. So conceptually, this is all taking place in kind of the same region or area of Toydaria, the Toydarian system. But each one of you will have your own range bands. When I go over the rules, it'll make it a lot easier for you to visualize. All right. And Inferno 1 and Inferno 3, I'm going to throw something here. You do see B-Wings, and one of you spots a odd-looking ship. I'll put it here in the middle for you. It is a YT 2400. Looks like a smuggling craft. And there's a lot of smuggling crafts like flying out of the system, like fleeing. Like think of like mass cats. Like there's just civilian crafts flying in and out, but this one, they're kind of shooting at a lot of Imperial assets specifically. So it kind of sticks out to you. So who wants to go after B-wings and who wants to go after that YT? Or you don't have to. You don't have to. You just go after B-wings. I'm not saying you have to go after anyone.
Yeah, no, so what's kind of going through my mind immediately, she's the ace, and she should go up after their ace, but he's ambitious. I want to go after whatever I think that I can kind of fight and lure towards her, and the idea being that, like, at some point, I might try to steal her glory, because that's something even the Empire would do.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So you think of
So I'm
B-wing.
playing zone defense, basically. I want to fight what's in that zone rather than a specific person.
So you all are like, as far as the range bands go, I'm pretending that all of you are in close range with one another. Okay, to simplify this. So, like on Inferno 2's range band, if that X-wing gets in range of her, it's most certainly in range of you as well.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. Okay, so then I think I would like to go after the mystery ship.
Okay. There you go. And then Inferno 1, it seems like there's, your fellow compatriots here have gone after, one of them is going after the ace, which is definitely the Grand Admiral's order. The other order he gave was the B-wings. And then you see Inferno 3, he's just going after the glory, like of some, or you don't know what he's doing. He's going after some like unidentified freighter. You know what I mean? Like, so what do you want to do?
No, yeah, I mean, he would very much follow his order. He knows that Mercedes can certainly handle herself, and that Ace is kiffed. He would certainly take on the B-wings as he was told.
Okay, so you see the B-wings kind of close in. They start heading, and they're right now their trajectory is straight towards that interdictor. Admiral Fortuna, he's not an idiot. He knows what can't leave now. And Inferno 2, you got the ace. Let's see here. Inferno 3, you're going to get a B-wing squadron. So these are squadrons of, again, about 3 craft. And again, you have a squadron of 3 with you. And let's see here. With that, everybody roll initiative. We're just going to roll initiative right now.
I'm sorry, just to clarify, we have 3 others with us, or with us makes 3?
You and 2 others, so a total of 3.
Got it.
Let's see here.
Okay, do we get control of our ship, or do we not?
So you're not gonna. What you're gonna do is I'm gonna give you tokens that are in your zone, because we're gonna. When I talk about the rules of like movement, it's gonna make much more sense when you move them towards you versus you moving towards them on the battlefield.
Very, very good, very good.
Yep.
All right, and then we're rolling, from the vehicle sheet or from the character sheet?
You would roll from your character sheet.
Okay.
And you can roll cool, because you are prepared for this. They are not. They are off guard. So let's see here. They're going to roll vigilant.
Do we get a choice between cool and vigilance, or do we have to roll cool?
No, I'll let you. You're prepared, so you can roll whatever you'd want here. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, I just got a whole bunch of yellows vigilance. So
they have to roll. I'm making them roll vigilance, and then we also have to roll destiny, so we can do that too. Let's see here, vigilance.
Oh, and so are we using? Oh, I guess we can't. We technically can only use light side points in Roll20, so I guess we'll just do that.
Yeah, we'll flavor it. It's really dark side. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Oh, wow. Did we get all light side points?
Let's see. So that's all you guys. Dang.
I didn't roll yet. Let me just.
Okay.
Wait. Do we want light side points, or do we not want light side points?
Well, in this case, we do, because Roll20 won't let us use dark side points. It will only let us use light side. But normally, if we were running it, let's say with the other dice roller, I would say we want dark side points. But
right, and of course, because I always roll the opposite of what you guys do, I roll the dark side point. Now, shouldn't Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's probably all the same thing.
Okay.
Because it didn't come through as initiative cool. It came through as cool for
Yeah,
for the other
yeah.
two.
But I think he's adding them in.
Are you adding them in? Okay.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got the turn order up on the screen.
yeah. So I got you
Yeah.
guys, you four, and then let me add them in here.
What? All right. Now, what does that equate to? What does that mean?
What is-
PC 3 0, PC 2 2.
It's just so guys 2, 3. I'm just adding these in manually.
Oh, you
go
mean
at
the numbers? It's like the number of successes and the number of advantages.
Oh,
Right.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so 4
Is that what it is?
successes,
Okay.
Yeah, yep. And so advantages really only count in the case of a tie,
Right.
typically. But yeah,
Okay.
I got 2 advantages and 4 successes, so that's me 2:4.
but remember
Okay.
remember that any PC can go. So even if you rolled a higher amount, it doesn't mean you have to go in that initiative slot.
So are we the
Okay.
NPCs? Because
Nope. You are the PCs.
okay, because I got 4 successes and an advantage, but I see that listed.
Oh, so it did it as weird. Okay, let me switch this real quick. There
Yeah,
you go.
There we
yeah.
go.
What should it be? Success and then advantage, or
because
advantages and then success?
I wonder if, Chris, when you rolled on your sheet, did you actually go down to the skills and roll cool, or did you roll where up at the top where it says initiative?
No, I rolled in my skills.
Okay,
Oh, so did I.
So that's why. At the top of your character sheet, underneath like your wounds and strain and defense and all that, it says initiative, and it just shows cool and vigilance. If you were to click on that one, that's
where
where
is
it would. So like, are you on your?
Yeah.
Are you looking at the character sheet or the vehicle sheet?
I'm looking at the character sheet.
Okay, so like if you go up to the very top, is the very top of your sheet the dice pool,
Yeah,
and then the next is destiny pool,
yeah.
and then next you see stats.
Uh-huh.
What do you see right under that?
Characteristics.
Right.
then
So it
skill.
should say character info, skills, combat, inventory items.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go. Oh, click on. All right, so character info, skills. Click on combat.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see what I'm gonna give you. Hold on, I'm gonna give you
Cool.
PC slot with what you had. I'm just gonna add PC. That was 4.
Sweet.
Yeah, that was 4.
Yeah. And I was 4 successes and 2 advantages.
Yep.
Ooh, nice.
And 2. Okay. So I got. So you guys are going really good. So you got 4 and 2, 4 and 1, and then I got Raxel's 2 and 2. He's there, and then 2 and 4 was 4 and Grand Admiral. What'd you roll for yours? I think it loaded it
2
on.
and 4.
Mine was
2 and 4. Yep. Okay, good. So they're all there then.
Nice.
Nice.
Okie dokie. All right. So that being said, let me just talk about the rules real quick, okay? So this space combat can seem complicated, but it's very simple actually if you do it right. And I'm going to put up some handouts for you guys to see here. And the first is this one here. If you click on that picture I just put up,
That is crazy tiny.
you
Yeah,
click
No,
on
if you
it,
click
it'll
on it,
blow up.
become bigger.
Yeah. That will
There we go.
That determines your dice pool. For this, I made it very simple. The B-wings that the fighters are fighting, and the freighter and the X-wing, they are all equal or within 1 size. So when you attack an enemy, it's going to be 2 purple. You get to do maneuvers like you normally do in ground combat, so you can aim and add a boost die. You have 2 other allies with you that are assisting you because you're in a squadron, so you get every turn, regardless of if you do a maneuver or not, you get 2 boost die to help.
Okay.
And
For
then,
as long as you have 2 of them.
yeah, for as
2
long as you have 2 of
boost
them. So every time a guy dies off, if they die off, we're going to remove one of those boost die from you. Okay, so for right now, just remember when you attack, you can add free 2 boost die because you have 2 allies assisting you. And then your vehicle sheet, you're going to see your combat. You see here. Let me pull up one here. If you go to vehicle sheet, you're going to see your weapons. And all you're going to do is you're going to decide if you want to shoot, your laser beams or your lasers or your torpedoes if you have any. And that's it. It's as simple as that. Now, if you want to get...
Would you explain the difference between those things?
Yes, so you'll see there the damage and the crit, and there's a range. Okay, so what you have to do is when it's your turn, you're going to have to take a... You're right now at the enemies that you're fighting, all of you, they're in the red circle. They're at long range. So if you look at your weapons, I don't think... Let me just pull up...
Yeah, all of these are close and or short.
Yep, they're close and short. Okay, so short is the bluish purple, and then the close is the purple next to you. What you have to do is you can use a maneuver to fly and drive. That's just saying you're going to move a range band.
Okay.
And then you could do it twice because you could take strain and do a second maneuver if you want. The way we represent that is when you take a maneuver, I want you to move the craft that you're moving towards closer to you. So like Inferno 2, the X-Wing Ace. If you take one maneuver, you're going to bring that X-Wing closer to you. So it looks like it's now medium range. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And everybody else, you do the same thing. You just take like Inferno 1, you take a B-Wing and you just move it to, medium range. If you move 2 maneuvers, you're going to move it to short. And then you can fire at it with a short range weapon. On their turns, they will take maneuvers. So on their turn, if they move closer, I'll move them. But that's really all you have to do. Do I want to take a maneuver to get closer to them? If the answer is yes, do that. If not, you can use a maneuver to aim. And there is, let's see here. That is all you really need to concern yourselves with. So we'll go through that if it comes up. And the last thing, I'm giving you a freebie. This is a freebie. Because you are squadron commanders and you started off in your squadron formation in the hangar bay, I will allow you to look at, there's squadron formations. You can pick a formation that you want to be in. It's a freebie. It gives you a little bonus. So I recommend attack formations are probably good for what you're doing. It would just mean that you get a boost die for any attacks you make while your squadron exists. So you could pick whatever you want. If you feel like you're going to be overwhelmed, you could tell me, I'm going to be in an invasive maneuver. You're going to start off with a freebie, but if you want to change it later on, require a maneuver. But I'll go over that if you want to change it. So just pick which one you want to begin with. I recommend to keep it simple. The attack formation's good.
Definitely.
Get a free boost die. Call it a day. So that will give you guys 3 free boost die.
Can you just tell me, is the formation our 3, or is that when we are 9?
That is your 3.
That's the 3. Got it.
That is the 3. So you guys, so each one of you, Inferno 1, 2, you can separate formations for whatever you want. And you can change them whenever you want. It just requires a leadership check. So if you do want to change it, it's a maneuver that requires a check, and I will help you with that. But for now, just pick your free one. Inferno 1, what do you think you want? Just so I know. Do you want, what formation would you go with?
We're going to be in attack formation.
All right. Inferno 2.
Attack formation.
Inferno 3.
Same.
Okay. So you all have 3 boost die from the 2 allies and the attack formation. All right. Now,
okay. So now, because you know how visual all of us are.
Yeah.
It's us and 2 basic TIE fighters, or
you and 2 other TIE defenders.
Oh, so it's everybody that we're with is in a TIE defender.
You're Inferno Squadron. So you each are squadron commanders within Inferno Squadron. You have 2 other TIE defenders accompanying you. They're not as good pilots. They're like your underlings, but for all mechanical intents and purposes, like they're flying with you narratively. They give you the boost die extra, and they take hits for you.
Very good.
Okay.
Yeah. Very good.
Anthony, one quick question. I know when I GM, I add in all of the peripheral dice or whatever, and then just have everybody click the little button on their skill. Do you want us to add the boost dice and the purple dice and all that, or do you want to handle that on your end?
Let's see here. I'm going to do this real quick. If everybody can open up your character sheet, I'm going to show you a real simple way to do this.
Okay.
Go to your vehicles and look at your weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see your 3? You have 3 types of weapons. Do you all see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Right under your name, you see a thing called, it says dice.
Yep.
Type in there 3B in each one of those dice things. And what that will do
is Is there a space between the B, or is it just
Nope, together.
Oh,
3B.
I see, and it'll add it automatically.
And when you hit the gunnery check, it's going to automatically add the die.
Nice.
Okay.
And then you're not setting our difficulty then when we go to roll, we're putting those 2 purple dice in ourselves.
Oh, let's do, since I made it simple and I made it static. So type in 3B, comma, 2P. Or sorry, comma space 2P. So it should look like this. I'm going to put it here. 3B, comma, 2P.
Should I add 2P to all of mine as well?
Yours will also, well, yours will be a little different because the nebulons are smaller. So I'll tell you your purples when it comes time.
Okay, great.
And then
And I'll add, actually, Sam, I'll add your purples for you.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
so I'm assuming that the laser cannons, the wingtip and cockpit mounted are the thing you're going to the most.
Yeah, so okay, so
Okay.
yeah, look at the damage. All right. It does 6 damage, so that's a good amount. And linked 3, what that means is depending on how much advantage you get, you can actually fire that thing up to 3 extra times.
Nice.
So it could do like you know, like and just like destroy enemy ships really good. So you're gonna probably want to use that to fight the X-wing guy.
Okay.
All
Cool.
right. So I'll show you like I'm just gonna pop this up. This says weapons qualities. If you click on that, you'll see like linked in there. It says 2 advantage. You get an additional hit on the target. So linked 3, you could do 3 extra hits, which is pretty good.
But you need
Yeah.
6 advantage for that.
Yeah, but you guys are really good pilots, so it's very likely, especially with all that boost die, that you can do that.
Yep.
Okay, so I just want to know who wanted to go first, because if Sam, if you want to go first, I'll touch base on your rules real quick. If not, I'll just let one of the pilots go, and everybody can kind of see how we work that. So what's your call? Or what do the PCs want? Do you want to go first and
I
below
don't.
this?
I don't mind. If one of the pilots want to go first, I think that'd be fun. So that's totally cool. But I mean,
She goes out like a shot. She gets to go first. Absolutely.
Yeah, I say like we'll put Sam second because I think he needs to be definitely doing something here. But I wanted to kind of solidify the rule set a little. So Inferno 2, you got the first up.
Okay.
All right. So what would you
Yeah.
like to you remember you get a maneuver for free. So you
Okay.
could bring that guy closer to you if that's what you want to do.
Absolutely.
So you can move him into the medium circle, and if you want to take a 2 strain, you could take a second maneuver. That would be 2 strain on your tie.
Absolutely do that. So, and that's on the
tie defender. Now, what you can do is, if you want to handle hull trauma and hull strain simply, let's see here. I'm actually going to give you control of your. If you click on your little tie defenders now, don't move them because it'll throw off the rings. You'll see 3 circles.
Oh, okay.
You can.
Yes.
The green one is for strain. So if you want to take 2 strain, just click in the green circle and hit -2, and then hit enter.
-2.
Yep, there you go.
Oh,
Took it off. Boom. There you go.
Nice.
Okay, so you got this guy. You got this X-wing, ace that you kind of like maybe heard of. He's like a low ball, but he's still an ace for the Partisans. They got they're low budget, but he's zigzagging. He's got 2 other X-wings with him. Do you tell me what you do? You attacking him?
Yeah, I want to. Open fire on him.
Okay, then,
gentlemen, open fire at will.
let me add one thing here for him on the dice pool because he does have some defense. So give me 1 second.
Okay.
So the way it works mechanically is your shields. It'll say like you may have 4 aft, and it may say 1. I think for all of you it says 1. When you in space combat, when you have shields, that adds a setback die. So I added a setback die, and you are good to roll.
Right on.
Damn.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Holy Jesus.
So look, I told you guys are good. You guys are no joke. All right. Do you want to use the linked?
Absolutely.
Okay. So the way this works is you do 6 damage, and you're gonna hit 2 other times. So, and it's gonna do let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 damage. Now on the first hit. So he has 3 armor. So he absorbs some of that. So he takes 10. 1 X-Wing. Boom! Blast it out of the sky. It's just gone, you know? Let's see here.
And that, gentlemen, is how
Yeah.
it's done.
And there's a second hit that hits, and it does, again, another 13, 10. So it's going to do 10 damage. Second TIE fighter is gone, and the last hit is going to hit this ace, and he's going to try to swerve out of the way. And he is barely holding on. He's like about to fall out of the sky. I mean, you all see Inferno 2 just work this guy. And he's like, you know, on fire, his engines. He's like, Red 1, standing by, you know, blown up. So yeah, great work. So Inferno 2, you did pretty good there. Man, that was a hell of a roll. All right. Eviscerator's up. Now, we're going to start with the mass combat check, okay, to start the battle. There's normally 3 mass combat checks throughout the course of a battle.
Okay.
I'm going to pop these rules up for everybody here. Let's see here. Mass combat. All right. That little chart shows different sizes of force. You are currently with your Acerator cruiser and your interdictor. You're going to be a vast force. This partisan fleet, they have some battleships. They don't have a fleet of battleships, but they have 2, and they got cruisers and frigates. So they're going to be a staggering. What that means based off the dice is this: that you are going to make your check against a staggering, which is 4 purple dice.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add that, and that's the base. That's the base pool. Your base pool is going to be. I'm going to put it here. Put in your dice pool. Put 5 green dice right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now we're going to do the second thing here. Upgrades. You can upgrade your mass combat check based off of Grand Admiral Zaarin's leadership score.
Oh,
How many
okay.
ranks you have in that?
Gotcha. Let me take a look. Where's my leadership? I got.
Should be under skills.
Yeah. I got 5 ranks. All right.
So you get 5 upgrades.
All right. So turn those all into yellow. Blam, 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 blam. Oh, I guess actually I should just do the 5 and then just put them in upgrades. Okay. That's
Okay.
fine. Yep.
Beezer Fortuna, or let's see here. Beezer Fortuna, he's got 3 leadership. So what that's going to do is it's going to add make 3 purple red. Okay.
All right.
So he got 3 upgrades.
Okay.
So I put that for him though. So I'm going to build his.
You're going to build his. Okay. Great.
Yeah. So you just build yours, and
Yep.
I'll add the setback and stuff. Now the last way that we do it is adding boost and setback. Okay. I'm going to say based off of, and you could, this is where the GM and you would work together. I'd say that you definitely had ample time to prepare. So that's a boost. You are well supplied. You had good tactical data and equipment ready for this. So that's a second boost. And now this is where I'm going to ask you a question. Is Grand Admiral Zaarin concerned about civilian casualties right now? Because there's a lot of civilian traffic in space trying to flee.
Not even a little bit.
All right. So then you're going to get a 3rd boost die for that because it doesn't matter to you. So you're going to just wreck everybody. And the last one, do you think that you're fighting for more than just victory, personal gain? Anything higher, or is it selfish and evil in nature?
So, am I fighting for anything more than personal gain? No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I am absolutely fighting for personal gain at this point.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a setback for that.
Okay.
And let me see if there's anything I need to give you a setback for also. No, that's it. So you can go ahead and roll.
Okay, now do I put the boost on my side, or did you
Yes,
account?
you can
Okay.
put the boost on your side.
All right, so I've got the positive side. So I've got 5 green dice, but all 5 are upgraded, and I've got 3 boost dice.
Yes.
All right, and I'll roll.
Oh, sorry. Remember, you're a strategist,
Yes.
which downgrades the difficulty of the mass combat check. So let me put a downgrade here for me, and you have a second. Do you want to use Destiny to downgrade it a second time? You can use 2 Destiny from your, or sorry, 1 Destiny from your signature ability to downgrade a second time.
Yes, I think it only costs 1.
It does, because you have the full tree, and there's a
yeah.
skill that reduces the cost to 1.
Yeah, let's do it. So I'll use my light side point here.
Okay, so everybody, just so you know, Sam's character, Grand Admiral Zaarin, he's got a fully spec'd out commander or Commodore, strategist, and figurehead. Was it figurehead?
Yep.
Yeah. Trees with all the signature abilities of the commander career, fully maxed.
Wow.
So he's using a signature ability right now to downgrade the difficulty of his mass combat check. And as a strategist, he's also using a second skill to do that. All right, now you may roll.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
You got some advantage, so let's see here. You could show. What do you want? How do you want to use that advantage?
All right, let me just take a look. So
Yeah.
mass combat.
I'm thinking here. So while he's thinking there, the scene goes. Admiral Fortuna, like, he positions his capital ships around the Eviscerator to, capture most of the TIE fighters coming out, with the exception of the Inferno Squadron. They're kind of held up. So this first round, like, it's very, 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 very close. It doesn't seem like really either side is really winning here, but it does kind of. It's not a clear victory for Admiral Zaarin in the first round, but he does have a lot of advantage. He has 6 advantage.
Okay. Let me see. Hold on just a sec. So
Yep.
I think what I'd like to do, if I can, is to. What do I have? I have 6. Maybe I can use 3 to kind of give like an inspiring speech to the men, even though maybe tactically we're not in the best position. We've got the superior firepower. We have the best of the best that the Empire has to offer, and there is no way we will lose this fight. And so it'll upgrade the next check.
Yep.
And then I would like to use another 2 to give. My allies a boost dice on their next check, if possible.
Okay. And that last advantage, because you have 1 left, do you want to use that to, like, discover an important enemy or something like that?
Yeah, for sure. Any kind of advantage or whatever that I can gain.
So your deck officer says, "Sir, we scanned that White T 2400 freighter, and it appears to have the signature of a Heart Cartel." So
It's a hot cartel ship. All right.
yeah, so he knows for sure that YT is a Hut Cartel ship. And with that being said, now you'll do your actual combat turn, and so just go to your vehicle sheet.
Yep.
And let's see, I'm gonna add your purple. It's gonna be give me a sec, 2,
Yep.
and then what weapon do you want to use? What do you want to fire at?
Yeah, I want to fire at the command ship, at the partisan command ship. What I want to try to do initially is to land just the biggest, nastiest hit I can on it. But I don't think I think I'll use probably the quad heavy turbo lasers, because I think those look like the beefiest ones here. Can I do a barrage?
Yes, so the way I set up so for everybody listening, Age of Rebellion has special rules for capital ships, which are called barrages. There's 3 types. For this encounter, we're going to really just focus on 2, and I built the macros in already. And that is the concentrated barrage. So if you want to fire at one ship and like do as much damage, you're going to use concentrated barrage.
Yep.
If you scroll down on your vehicle sheet, you'll see overwhelming barrage, and that is like area effect. Like you would hit,
Yeah.
you could hit up to, I think with your capital ship, you can hit up to 5 ships if you
Sweet.
get enough
Okay.
advantage. But it does less damage, but it just does it to more. So it's good for when you're firing at weak stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think I want to take a shot with the quad heavy turbo laser batteries, and I would tell my my gunners to concentrate fire on their command ship.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I literally just got to click the button for
click the
concentrated.
button.
All right, let's see.
Okay, this is all right.
Oh my good Jesus!
So this is what I love about this, right? Is you see the real
21.
power of like Imperial, Star Destroyers in this game. Like in the movies, doesn't do credit. It's like they always get beat. This is like no kidding what they do. So you did a full with all your heavy turbo lasers, 40 of them. You fire them all to Mon Calamari. And this is how it works, right? You're going to do 51 base damage.
Yep.
Plus 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to do 58 total. It has 9 armor. So that is going to put you at 49. 49 damage to the Mon Cal. But here's the kicker, right? You got it's breach 4. So it's actually 53 damage now. And then you have this advantage, the linked.
Yeah.
You could use 4 advantage to hit it twice, which is going to add another 53 and another 53.
Yep.
So that's
Oh my
159 damage. Okay. Without any further ado, your salvo just this thing just blows up out of the sky. Like, you could tell me if you want to blow it up. Like, it's completely disabled. There's explosions happening from the capital ship. It's like it is no longer functioning at all. Like, it is gone. You by the rules you'd have to keep shooting it to like critical it out, but for right now in all intent it's blowing up. Like,
well, I mean, do I have enough advantage to do the linked and to impact a critical on it?
Yes, yeah, because you only used 4, so you got another. The linked for your critical, it is 3, but a Mon Cal is a massive ship, so I believe. Let me see here. 1 second.
Yep.
For a critical on the Mon Cal, it would be 5 advantage to do a critical. So you'd be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 3.
He's got 23.
Yeah, so you could do 3 criticals. Or sorry, critical. Plus 30.
Plus 30,
so you'd roll,
okay.
Yeah, so you'd roll a D100 plus 30.
And will it let me do that in here?
If you type /R...
Yeah, I can do it in the chat. D100.
And then you can put plus 30 at the end. And then,
Let's see. Oh, do I have to put a space between -R?
/R space 1D100.
Yep.
30. Yeah, I just did it like that. Yeah, 111.
Oh.
All right, your roll is good.
Wow.
All right, yeah, engines down. Cannot perform maneuvers until repaired. It's just floating in space. Completely disabled.
All right.
Yeah. So everybody sees this like, and because you blew up the capital ship, and he can no longer communicate. The next mass combat check, they get no upgrades at all.
Perfect. And what I'd like to do, if I can, would be to, and I don't know if I need to wait until I have another. I think I can do this as a maneuver, but I would like to basically have my communications officer send out a communication to all Imperial or to all Rebel ships in the vicinity, basically saying your commander is destroyed. Further resistance is futile. Leave now.
They
you will be destroyed.
You get a call back and it says, "Turn off that interdictor and we'll leave."
And I will turn off. I will instruct the interdictor to to disable its capabilities. But I fully intend to also send a boarding party over to the command ship, and if their admiral is still alive, to take a prisoner.
Okay, so you have the interdictor turn its power down, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. It is now the Alliance's turn, or sorry, the Partisans' turn. Let's see here. You're gonna see their Moncal, the other Moncal that's there. He's gonna fire. He's just gonna fire at the your ship.
Oh hell
Whoops!
no.
Sorry, I did that wrong. I gotta re-roll because I did the dice pool incorrectly.
They're not gonna leave. They're gonna
That
shoot
makes
at
clear.
me.
They're gonna do that, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, no, it's 4. 2 and 4. Yep, so that is correct. They hit for a total of 14. Let's see here. 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 damage. I'm going to use the linked with the 2, so it's going to be 36 damage. And then the triumph. Ooh, yeah. Let's see what the triumph's going to be. I'm going to show you here what I'm using. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to happen. You let the interdictor down, and there is a Corellian Corvette, and he says, "Vegeta!" And he starts to power up hyperdrive, and you see it start taking off, and it just goes straight into your accelerator. This thing just suicide
no.
bomb.
He's gonna go. He's gonna go pull an admiral. What? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he just, because you're the interdictor put down his thing, the Corellian Corvette just shot at you in its hyperdrive, and that's gonna cause a collision. Let's see here, which will be. Give me 1 second. I think for your ship, it actually does nothing because you have so much armor. So yeah, your ship has 9 armor. The collision, it just crumbles into the side of your ship. If it was a bigger ship like a Nebulon, it actually would have done something, but your ship's so armored that it just implodes on the side of it.
Yeah. My sheet says I got 13 armor, so I don't know.
Sorry, 13. I was thinking about the Moncal. So yeah, 13 are even more armor. And that's massive. So it just blows up into the side of it, but you can see that these guys are not wanting to leave.
All right.
Not quite yet.
Yep. And so then I think I would say, kind of just internally on the ship, I would be like, that was a mistake. And then I would have my crew hail the interdictor and tell them to put their shields back up. And then I would send out a bulletin if you'll let me do all of this communication.
Yeah.
To all Imperial forces in the area, basically saying, "This is Grand Admiral Zaarin. The rebels' command ship is destroyed. We have them on the run. Show no mercy." And what oh no, I can't use the signature ability right now because I already took an action. So, well, actually, can I?
It just says a destiny.
Yeah.
Use destiny.
Give me just a second. To inspire a group. Oh no, never mind. I don't need to at this point. So.
Okay.
Yep. And so that's what I'll say.
PC's turn.
So I took 23 damage, I think, right? Based on
that's it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, 36 damage.
Yeah, but then my armor reduces.
Yes,
that, right?
minus your armor. Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right, who's going next? Inferno 1 or Inferno 3?
I think 3, having seen 2 take off, would have been eager to follow behind her.
Okay, Inferno 3. Remember that this TIE fighter, I'm gonna copy it. Sorry, this X-wing. He's now right here. The ace that you wanted to hit, or you were talking about earlier. He's right next to you too.
Sorry, I'm moving things around the screen.
Yep.
Wait, he's. I want to get that.
So that ace that Inferno 2 is embattled with, he is now.
Oh yes.
Also, he's blown up, kind of right next to you as well. He's looking weak.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna be in the cockpit, and I'm just gonna radio over to my squadron and just say, "Ready up, move out," and I'll fire I forget the word for it, but It's what holds the TIE fighter up, and when it lets go, there's a weightlessness for a moment, and then it moves out. And he at first spots the YT and radios in, move in on the YT, but when the X-Wing blows past directly into his zone, he just quickly says, fan out and take it down.
All right. Your pool should be already made. Let me add this setback. Hold. One setback. And if you want to shoot at that X-Wing, you're free to make that attack.
Okay. I'm sorry. I see 2 places to roll.
If you okay, so on your sheet, let me go to your sheet right now.
Oh, wait, it's the top one. It's okay. So I see gunnery, but then one of them is NPC roll gunnery. But I want
make sure you do the top one. So it'd be the weapon you want to shoot. It should be right next to linked 3, right across from there.
Got it. Okay, I'm gonna fire away.
Fire away. All right. So describe the scene for us. What you're doing when you're stealing Inferno 2's kill.
So, like I said, I'm coming in at the YT, and suddenly this X-Wing kind of just like blows straight into my path, and I can imagine I say, fan in and take it down, fan out and take it down, and as they do, it's still coming directly at me, so I actually pull up a bit, and I just kind of, using this new maneuverability, I just kind of like almost spin around like 180 degrees shooting down at it, and then just smirk, and just, I click in, and this thing just explodes right below me.
And it just, it blows up into a fire inferno. You know, Inferno 2, you were like, I want to imagine like you were like right on his tail, and all of a sudden you see Inferno 3 just coming by, boom, 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 and he just blows it out of the sky right in front of you, you know? So you clearly saw him take your kill from you. How does Inferno 2 feel about that?
Way to clean up my leftovers.
Nice. All right. Well, with that, it's going to be the NPC's turn. We're going to do the B-Wings. The B-Wings are going to actually move closer to each one of you. Now, I'm going to put a B-Wing in your zone over here, too. Inferno 2. You know what? We're going to actually add. Yeah, no, they're going to each be one in yours. And they're all going to fire. And so that's going to move up. So they're going to be now in medium range of the Eviscerator. Let's see here what they have. They're trying to go for the Eviscerator. Or sorry, for the Interdictor. Or whatever's closest. All right.
Can I just ask, what's that one ship? It looks like it's between 2 B-Wings closest to Toydaria. It's actually overlapping with Toydaria. It sort of looks almost like mottled with like an orange on steel.
Oh, that's a Nebulon right here. This one here. This one, the purple dot.
Oh no! Below that one, actually, between that one and the other. Yeah, that one.
That's a Moncal cruiser.
That's the Moncal cruiser. Okay,
yep.
Got it.
The one that got blown up is over here.
I see. Yeah, that's what confused me. I was like, wait, if that's the Moncal, but now I got it.
They're going to use 2 maneuvers to get into short range of each of you. So they're going to take the strain for that. Let's see here. So, Admiral Zaarin, you're seeing that these B-Wings are getting really close to you now. Mm-hmm. They're within range of some weaponry. Your guys might be saying, like, sir, like, the TIE Defenders and stuff aren't really getting these guys. And let's see what happens. They're going to use... Yeah, they're going to use their proton torpedoes. They're just going to shoot at the Eviscerator now.
Okay.
So there's going to be an easy shot, but you have 4 defense. So it's going to be 1 purple for them with 4 setback dice for your defense. And they're going to fire away. So they hit, but they got 3 threat. So the damage is going to be 9. As you can see, the pointlessness of it, it just like blows up on your armor and doesn't do anything. How do you want to use that 3 threat? I'm going to show 2 things to you real quick.
All right.
You could spend, let's see here. You could use this table, the space battle table if you'd like.
Okay.
Or let me see here. Combat. They are in a squad combat, and I put it or that table because they are in a squadron formation. And there's going to be 3 shots actually I got to do at you because that's the first one. So let me do the other shots from the other guys.
Okay.
While you read that. All right. That's the first shot. Second, third. Oh shoot, they fail horribly. Yeah, they don't do anything.
All right. I think that what I want. What I want, I think, to have happen basically is that a squad of ties that are kind of like flying a perimeter defense screen or whatever, kind of just they get in and they don't deal any damage, but they break up the B-Wings formation.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So they're not going to get any bonuses.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Inferno 1, you're up.
All right. How exciting. This is...
So you got the B-Wing like right next to you. You also have, I'm going to add it to your zone. You do have that YT up there in the red zone. I'm going to add it to everybody just so they all can have the option to attack it if they want.
All right, so that is how far away?
It is currently long. You could use 1 maneuver. For every maneuver you use, and you can use up to 2, but the second one will cause you to take system strain. You can move it 1 range band closer.
So I can move that into short range then?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, I'm doing that.
All right. Boop. There you go. And you could just...
And I'm going to shoot it... What, come again?
You could just subtract your strain.
Yeah, I'm going to do that right now.
Okay.
Just 1 second. And I... So system strain, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, system strain. Okay, cool. And because I'm in short range, I'm going to use the cockpit mounted concussion missiles launcher. I had it.
Holy crap! Okay.
They all want to show what this thing can do. This concussion, this cockpit concussion missiles was his idea, and I'm going to show you exactly what these defenders do.
Let me modify something here. So you have, I think you're actually smaller, but you're within 1 because that's a silhouette 4. Let me just double check the defense on that thing real quick to make sure I add the right setback dice for you. Yes, it is 4. It's got just 1 setback, so I'll add the setback. All right, you can now you get the 3 boost die. So make sure, and you already have that. You should already have that in there, and then you can.
Yeah. 3 boost, 2 purple. That's already in there.
There you go.
All right. Hold on 2 seconds. I just want to do this because this might be kind of epic. Give me 2 seconds. Where'd it go? There it is. Come on. There we go.
Nice. All right. So that's blast 4. Oh man.
Oh,
Breach
triumph.
Okay. So I'm gonna just bring something up so we could all see what these things mean again. Just there you go in case you need to see what all that stuff. All right. So you can link it with the 2 advantage if you want to have the second hit. It's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 damage. He's got 4 armor, so that's going to be... But you got breach 4. So it does straight up 14 damage to him. That brings him down. It looks like it's about to be obliterated into smithereens. Before I count the triumph, unless you want to use something for it, I will say you are because it's linked. I'm gonna pretend like you have the ability to push a second trigger, and if you do it, it's gonna blow this thing out of the sky. So you tell me what you want to do. You can blow it up, or you can use triumph, or you can able to try to do.
All right. Yeah. No, and that's fine. I actually have the idea that I would like to, if this is possible, to have one of my mates actually use what would be their lasers on it to blow it out of the sky, and use my link to shoot at the my concussion missiles at the B wings instead.
Ooh. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna roll with that. I'm gonna say
Because
I will.
because with that triumph, I think is
Yeah.
that justifiable?
I think with the Triumph we could do that. I think with the Triumph we can say the link is going to allow you to shoot at the B wings, right? That's what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to do. Let's see, what is that? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and they got. But so, all right. So that's going to knock out. Yeah, that knocks out one B wing. The second B wing, actually is almost blown out of the sky. I'm sorry. Do me one favor real quick. Can you just roll 3 green dice by itself?
Sure, and I can do that just on my sheet, right?
You can just do that on your sheet. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I forgot to add the guided 3 means you get to add 3 green dice to that roll.
Okay. So all right. So that's up there. I did that, and then I just hit enter, right?
Yep.
Did I do that? I didn't think it did.
Nope.
It did not.
At the top, you should just go 3 and hit the little dice icon of your sheet.
The dice icon on my sheet. There we go.
There you go.
Right,
Boom.
like that.
Okay, so 2 extra damage. Okay, so you blow up 2 B wings with that attack.
Okay.
And that YT, yeah, that's so. There's 1 B wing left.
And the YT's gone too, right?
The YT gets, yeah. Your guys, your TIE guys blow it up. Did you want to blow it up or disable it?
No, I want to blow it out of the sky.
Okay, it is gone. Grand Admiral, you see this Hut cartel YT blown out of the sky. All right, it's now the enemy's turn. The Nebulon B frigates are going to go, and they're just going to fire at the at your ship, Grand Admiral. So that's going to be against 4, 1, 2, 3, and 1. All right, 4 shots coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
All right, so 1. Man, these guys, yeah, 6, 7, 8. They don't even break your armor, so they do nothing.
Perfect.
Yeah, it just bounces off. Smuggler's dead. All right, top of the order.
Wow, cool. So I'm gonna close in on this B-wing over here. Which it's already what? It's already medium range right now?
It is short range.
Short. Oh, it's already there.
So you can use your maneuvers to aim.
Okay.
If you like. If you want to get fancy, there is one that's called Gain the Advantage, and it would require you to make a piloting check against 2 purple, but you would upgrade a dice instead of getting a boost die.
Nice. That sounds good. I'll try that.
Okay, so
All right,
just roll a. I'm gonna put 2 purple dice in here and just roll a piloting check, space piloting.
That's gonna be on my skills.
That is correct.
Skills. Yeah.
Where am I piloting? Okay. Ready?
Ready when you are. You succeed. So you get an upgrade. So I'm gonna add. I'll add the upgrade.
Okay.
And let me see here, the B-wing real quick. Going to be 2 setback dice. Okay, go ahead and roll against the B-wing when you want.
All right.
You could take, if you want to take strain, you can, and you can get an extra.
To do an extra what?
If you take 2 strain, you can add an extra boost die to get another aiming maneuver.
And
it's up to you though.
Anthony, remind me, is that strain to the actual PC or system strain on the ship?
So the maneuvers to move closer will be to the system.
Yeah.
The strain to aim will be to the person. So you would
that's
add.
what I thought.
Yeah. So you would take Mercedes. Mercedes would take 2 strain.
Okay. So I need to put that back and. All right. So and she will do that.
And just add an extra boost die to aim. Or
where the heck?
I'll add the
Okay.
boost die. I'll add the boost die. Here we go. So I got your boost die.
Sorry.
I got
Sorry,
your
Chris.
upgrade. No, you're good. I got your boost die. I got your upgrade. And there's 2 setback because they have 2 shields. Fire when ready.
Okay, so all this back and forth. All right,
You
and
got this
I'm
Inferno
firing with the concussion missile.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man. Okay.
Look what I started here.
Oh. Roll. I need you to
Pretty
roll
badass.
another.
6,
Yeah,
10,
here. Roll
5,
3 green
yeah.
dice also,
Ugh.
please.
All
Just 3
right.
green dice.
Anthony, what are the 3 green dice for?
Yeah, roll 2 green dice.
For the
Or 3
guided.
green dice, sorry.
Oh, okay.
For every guided, you add a green dice.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's so 8. Okay, so we did 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. Are you gonna activate Link?
Well,
That's only 2
Yes.
advantage, and then it does
Yeah.
double. Okay.
yeah, I mean,
Breach 4, blast 4. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. That's gonna take out the entire squadron of B.
Yes.
You guys are go crazy. Okay, so describe to me, Inferno 2, what happens? You just take out 3 B-wings, like nothing.
so we like do this crazy like barrel roll type maneuver and fire all in tandem, and you just see these this one like massive blast just hit this thing and blow it to pieces, or them, I should say,
Nice.
to pieces.
Nice. So they're gone. All right, Eviscerator, you're up.
All right,
Mass combat time.
Oh,
Hey,
Ready?
I'm sorry. Real quick, can I just ask you, where's the list of maneuvers? Because I only see gain the advantage on the documents.
Yes. Let me see here. Gain the advantage is so the other maneuvers are in the book. I didn't put them just for simplicity, but what they are really is just like move. It's just move and like evasive maneuvers to make it harder to hit you. But you guys are like to keep it simple for this. And because you guys are so superior in your TIE Defender, you really don't need the other ones. They're like defensive maneuvers. But they can be found for everybody else listening or otherwise. They can be found in Age of Rebellion, the maneuvers, or Edge of the Empire and Force and Destiny. They have the core maneuvers for starfighters. The capital ship maneuvers, though, are specific to Age of Rebellion. So, all right, we'll lead with the mass combat check real quick. All right, so it's 4 purple, but you have 2 downgrades because the signature ability you use 3 rounds. And you're gonna have. I'm gonna give you a boost die for all those same boost die you used last time, but I'm gonna give you an extra boost die because you killed their commander.
Okay. So how many boosts total do I get?
That was 4.
Okay. And then last time I believe I rolled 5 green dice with 5 upgrades, right?
Correct.
Okay. So 5 green dice, 5 upgrades, 4 boost dice. All right, I'm ready on my end.
Okay, let me see here. Yep, you're good. I got you. Roll one ready. All right, perfect. There we go. How do you want to use that advantage?
Let's see. Ooh, downgrade the difficulty of the next. All right, let's see.
Oh, I'm sorry. Roll 1 boost die and a green dice, just by itself. Let me
Okay.
Let me clear my dice pool because I forgot. Remember, you used it for a boost die and an upgrade last time.
Right.
Okay, so 3 success on top of that. Okay, perfect.
Wow. All right.
So 5 success and 4 advantage.
Can I say that? One of the things I could do is the acting force disables an important piece of enemy hardware, destroying heavy weapon, blah, blah, blah. Can I say that that the B-wings that are kind of making their way towards me as their formation got broken up, their shields were disabled?
Ooh, yeah, I like that. Okay, so we're gonna remove all the setback dice from everyone's checks from now on, because their shields are disabled. I'll say your ion
Nice.
cannons kind of clip them, and they're hard to hit, but they kind of like run it as the TIE defenders are chasing them. They hit into the ion cannons as they are being blasted off, and they lose their shields.
Awesome. And then I think what I would probably want to do at that point, if they are going for... So is this B-Wing squadron the only sort of fighter-bomber squadron left on the map? Everything else is sort of capital ships?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, starfighters, but nothing that would threaten, like, the interdictor or yourself.
Yeah.
Those are the only threat. It's represented by the other 2 squadrons that exist. So that one next to you really represents 2 squadrons.
Okay,
that are represented on Inferno 1 and Inferno 3.
I'm just trying to determine if Inferno 1 or if either of those squadrons are actively closing on the B-Wing squadron or not. Because if they're not, then I would probably try to take a shot at them with overwhelming barrage.
They appeared based off what they've been doing. And well, Inferno 1, Inferno. How about you check in? Let's do this. How about you check in with them?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would send a comm signal over to all of my commanders, and I would say, Commanders, we have a B-Wing squadron on an intercept course with the interdictor. Are any of you en route or able to take this out?
Affirmative, sir. We can close in on your position. On our way.
Copy that. And so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to hope that they can get there close enough. And I think what I'm going to do in this case, so I can't use my quad heavy lasers again because I think those take a few rounds to recharge. So I think probably what I'll do then in this case is use my quad light turbo laser battery, a concentrated barrage against the other Moncal
Nice
ship.
Okay, let me add the dice pool for you. Okay. 2 purple and 4 setback I added, and you are clear to fire when ready.
All right.
Holy crap. Okay.
I thought nobody could have setback anymore.
No, that was on the B-Wings.
That was on the B-Wings,
Okay.
Okay. 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 45, 46, 47. Minus 9 is 38, but you have breach 2, so 40 damage. 40 damage there. Are you going to activate your linked?
Yes.
You can do it 3 times.
And
Or 8 total.
Oh, yeah, I'll do so.
Okay. So you do 120 damage to that. 2, 4, 6. So you have 2, 4, 6, 8. You have 8 advantage left. This Moncal looks like it is about to just like go at any minute. It's got it's not quite incapacitated, but it's got like bomb, blast of fire burning out of it and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I can, I think what I would like to do is have the if you'll let me, I'd like to use the advantage to have like a bunch of debris and stuff from that Moncal ship like go all over the place in space here, and maybe that will slow down or cause trouble for the B-Wing squadron if they're still heading towards the interdictor. So maybe a few setback or something like that.
Yeah. I'm going to give him 2 setback dice. Like the parts of the capital ship are floating around. This second one's like half blown up. It's floating around. Like, so everything will have, the B-Wings will get 2 setback die from any type of attack from all the debris.
And if it's possible, can I have the interdictor try to like sort of move directly behind the capital ship so that they would literally have to go all the way around my ship to get to it? I mean, I don't know if I can do that on this.
Yeah. I see that. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. He kind of positions himself away from the B-Wings.
Yeah, I just want to get him farther out if possible. I mean, I understand, this dude down here might be able to get him, but maybe I'll get him next. So, Cool. Yeah, and so I think I would have done that. I think, Inferno Squadron would see as they're kind of on an intercept course with this broken formation of B-wings, the big explosions on the remaining Moncal cruiser and, was it the Moncal or the Nebulon that I just fired on?
The Moncal.
The Moncal, yeah. Yep. Debris everywhere. And
yeah, it looks like it's about to, go, and it doesn't have much left in it.
Yeah.
And the Eviscerator, how much damage did you take total? You said I said what's your hull at right now?
My hull's at 182.
Okay, I'm just gonna add it on the token so I can see kind of visually. Yeah. So as everybody can see now, if you look at the token, you can see the red bar. That's his life. So yeah, you're not even like really scratched. You're just like whatever. Yeah. And the Inferno Squad's doing really good. So all right, the B-wings are gonna, they see like they appear to act a little bit erratically because the proton torpedoes they shot at the Eviscerator literally did nothing. So there's 2 squadrons left. They're gonna go next. I'm gonna have them fire at Inferno 1 and Inferno 3. So they can't fire their torpedoes because they are slow. So they missed. So they have 1 turn of cooldown. So let me do this. Inferno 1, you're going to get shot at first. All right, but they're going to have 2 setback because of all the debris. Let's see here. All right. B-Wing is going to fire at Inferno 1. He misses. He takes system strain because he hits some of the debris as he's trying to make the attack. Second one. Let's see here. He hits he does what was that 3-4 damage. But you have 3 armor, so it does 1 damage, and he takes strain. Oh man, these guys are getting wrecked.
So that would be like one of my squadron like reports like.
Yeah, he gets like a little singe. It's really one damage, like a little nothing.
They came from behind.
Yeah, so you can just remove 1 damage from your Inferno 3 token if you like, or however you want to do it, because your Inferno 3 token represents your whole squad. The red circle you just click and do -1 and hit enter. All right, next PC up. Who wants to go? Inferno 3 or Inferno 1?
Come on, Glory Hog, go ahead.
Inferno 3 it is.
Sorry, I don't see a red bar when I did it.
No, so you click on your token first.
Yeah, click on click on Inferno 3 here. Let's see. And you should see a little red circle that says 30 in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see that. Yep.
Yep. If you click in there,
okay.
Just click -1 and then hit enter. And a little red circle.
And that should make it 29.
Yeah, and if you can't, I could do it for you. It's no big deal.
Okay, -1.
Yep, there you go. Boom.
Okay.
And it's your turn.
Where did that come from?
This guy right here next to you. He actually got close to you. Sorry, he used a maneuver. He's right up on
okay.
viewing.
And as is the one on me. And
yes, correct. Yep. There you go.
Fine. Yeah, I got it.
Sweet. Thanks.
So, Inferno 3, upon receiving the message from the Admiral, he had kind of blown up the X-Wing and kind of turned his squad towards the commander, and the B-Wing kind of came up behind him, singed one of his pilots. He comes over the radio. Dive down and back up. Spread out. Hit this guy hard. Show him what these defenders can do. And each of them are going to kind of imagine it looking like a kind of swarm of bees, kind of ducking away, far more maneuverable. And we'll fire.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we do, let's see, 6, 4. So we do 10 damage. Linked 3. So you could do 6 advantage, which you have 2, 4, So you have 7 advantage. You can use 6 of the advantage to hit 3 additional times.
And we will do that. We are aiming at 3
Alright.
B-Wings.
So
So
10,
let's hit.
the 30. Yeah. All right. Describe how you destroy this entire B-wing formation for me,
Yeah, so
please.
they had kind of successfully flanked us. And so what I did was I sent 2 of my pilots down, and they kind of crossed below and came up the opposite way. And each of them blasted at the ones on the left and the right, as I basically, the equivalent of like killing the engine and hitting the brakes, like spin around and face the one right in the middle and just and all 3 of them is just
Nice. Nice. Yeah. So these B-wings just go flying. Pit. You see one of how a B-wing is kind of like a T. Like you shoot literally the B-wing in half, and the cockpit is flying by, and you see like a burning pilot, like he blows up next to your TIE Defender. Yeah, so you just ravage them. And the Grand Admiral, you notice that as well, that he just plowed through them. All right, so the Nebulon's turn. They're gonna fire at let's see here, the Eviscerator one more time, and they're gonna try. Let's see here. Boom. Yeah, they do nothing. They don't even break the hole. They start to turn and run. Like they start to turn around and start like running. They're like look like they're running away now.
Oh, awesome. And as they do that, I think what I would do is I would say, I'd get over the comms to Inferno 3 and I would be like, well done, Inferno 3. You're earning that medal on your chest for sure. But stay frosty. You got the capital ships turning around. It looks like they're on the run. You hear that, boys? We got them on the run.
They're all turning around. They're starting to try to flee. The interdictor, its range is relatively large, so they're gonna. It may be a fool's errand to try to run out of here. All right, Inferno 1, you're up. You got this tied. The last B-wing squadron is like while the Nebulon B frigates like in a movie, like the Nebulons are turning, and you just see like these B-wing pilots are like, ah, and they're like going straight towards the interdictor. What do you do?
Yeah, thinking I want to actually let them go towards the interdictors because the interdictor hasn't been able to shoot anything yet. So and I'm going to turn and use as many maneuvers as I have to get next to the first one of those toothbrush-looking things.
Oh, you want to go to? Well, okay. Well, there's the Nebulons are turning around, but then Moncal is still there and it's on fire. Which one do you want to go after? You want to go after a Nebulon, B frigate?
So the Moncal is a very large ship, right?
Oh yeah, it's about the size of a Star Destroyer. Sorry, yeah, Star Destroyer. Yeah,
but it is badly damaged right now.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. Is there a recharge on those?
Yeah, 1 round. So right now you can only use your lasers, and you would know that like if you fired your lasers at the Nebulon, it probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So all right, strike all that. Yeah, I just take out the last of B-wings.
Fire when ready.
Yeah.
Good choice, Inferno 1.
Thank you.
The Grand Admiral would have been pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grand Admiral would have been not so pissed if I would have taken out that fucking thing. Anyways, all right. What is that?
He done busted you down to private.
All right, I'm gonna try the cockpit mounted medium laser can. Why not?
Sure, whatever you like.
Yeah, nobody's shot it yet, so I might as well try it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you got 11, 12 plus the advantage. You gonna link them?
Yeah, I'm gonna link it. What does ion mean?
That means it does also system strain. So you could like, do you want to blow it up or do you want to disable it so it's like floating in space aimlessly?
Blow it up.
Show no mercy.
Blow it
No,
up.
of course, no mercy.
Blow them up.
All right. So you fire at them and it just obliterates the B-wing squadron, and it is no more. They describe it for us, Inferno One. What you do?
Yeah, so you see Inferno 1, and the B-wing squadron is flying straight for them, and he cries out to to his two familiars and goes, right side, left side. I'm taking the middle. And he says, we're gonna try the other weapon we haven't tried yet. Shoot that middle cannon. And they were Roger, 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 and all three of us shoot at the same time, and we take out all of the ships. But instead of flying away from the debris that will be made from them, we just fly straight through the debris and kind of come out like Blue Angel style and turn back around.
Nice.
And start heading towards the capital ship.
Nice. Excellent. So as you do that, I'm going to call for a mass combat check here now, just because all the B-wings have been destroyed, and I want to see what happens. It's going to be... We're going to have 2 downgrades. The upgrade... I'm going to boost die for you for that last check. So, Grand Admiral Zaarin, you can roll with your 3 boost die. You could add those yourselves, and then your upgrades and your green dice for the mass combat check.
All right, and so I'm still doing the 5 green and 5 upgrades.
Yes.
With 3 boosts, you said?
That's correct.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give actually I'm gonna give you an extra boost because we have the B-wings are down, so I add that. Well, you rolled that, so it does not matter because let's look at that is the last final check. This is narrative part. I want you to see what 2 Triumph does.
Yep, I got you.
And I want you to describe. You know what? Let's do this to make it sexy, right? As you're doing that, well, you know what? I'll let you describe to me, and then I'll do my thing out because I have something I wanted to do.
So I think that what I would like to have happen is a couple of things. One,
yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Don't tell me what you want to use a Triumph for, because I'm going to give you an opportunity. I'm going to interject something, and I want you to have that knowledge to manipulate what you want to use a Triumph for.
Oh, so don't tell you what the Triumphs would be, because I was
you won the battle, so like that happens, but I'm going to interject something. So describe how you win the battle.
Sure.
And I'm going to interject something, and then tell me how you want to use a Triumph.
All right, absolutely. Okay? So the rebel ships are fleeing. I give a command to Inferno Squadron to kind of cut them off, right? And so Inferno Squadron, I would imagine, kind of, re-maneuvers and starts just like doing these crazy like maneuvers, weaving in and out, hitting the nebs, not being able to necessarily damage them, but harassing them enough. And of course, I come over the comms to the Nebulan B frigates, and I said, "Now you have seen the might, the power of the Empire, the foolishness of your actions today. Stand down, power down your ships, and we will not destroy you. We will let you live." And I think that they don't, because they're partisans and they would never ever do that. And so they continue to press on, and I think what would happen is I would pursue them, and I would use I would pursue them and basically take each one down individually.
Nice. So as you're doing that, your bridge commander, he says, "Sir, we have an incoming transmission. It seems to be originating out of Nahara. Do you want to take it?"
And I pause, but I know that I have to take it. And before I do that, though, I say, Yes, but, and then I look to Arden Lynn. Is she on the bridge with me?
She is.
Okay, and I say, Miss Lynn, this will not end well, but we are out of danger at the moment. I will have my men prepare a shuttle down to the surface of Toydaria. You head down, take a complement of men with you, anybody you need. Go down there and find this force sensitive that the Emperor is looking for.
And she nods and she says, yes, I sense it now. And she feels like when she says that, she senses it now. She almost acts as if something at that very moment occurred that allowed her to sense something on the planet. And she's almost certain of where it came from as far as the vicinity. And she marches right off the bridge and she goes to load her shuttle. You're sure of it. She's determined.
Perfect. And then I would tell the comms officer, open transmission.
And so the transmission opens up and this hologram pops up. And it's like, you see 3 huts. And they're sitting there going, oh, and you know, you have a translator there. It's being translated.
Mm-hmm.
He introduces himself as Durga the Hutt. And the other 2 are, their own Hutt cartels as well. And they say, Grand Admiral, what are you doing in Hutt space? This is a violation of our arrangement.
And I would say, this is no violation when we find rebels here, especially ones that try to destroy an Imperial Governor. I would think the past arrangement of Hutt non-compliance with the rebellion would be something that the Hutts would have remembered.
And he kind of slams his fist on in the hologram, and he goes, "Oh, Chater! You think I don't know this is a ploy for the Empire to trespass against us here? You don't think I know that you knew this could be avoided? Let my people go. I've had casualties already. You better let anyone who works for the Hutt cartel out of there, or I shall come after you, Grand Admiral." And he's kind of like, foaming at the mouth. And he's telling you that anyone who's with the Hutt cartel needs to be released from Toydaria. Like there cannot be any blockade. He's telling you that.
I see what you're doing, you sneaky bastard. All right. Interesting. I say, Durga, you are reasonable, I am sure. And as you must know, terrorist activities such as this cannot be just swept under the rug. We do not know if it was one of your men. Not on your orders, of course, but one of your men that may have helped with the attack on the governor. We must detain anyone trying to leave the system until we can find out who committed this crime. However, I am not an unreasonable man. Why don't we meet and we will discuss arrangements?
And he starts to kind of get angry and says, he's speaking, he says, the Partisans, who else do you think? You literally destroyed them. You shall pay. If I have to go there, it will be with my entire fleet. I shall have you if you do not listen to me.
And I say, you put me in a tough position, Durga. I have orders directly from Emperor Palpatine. Do not think to stand against the might of the Empire. If you try anything, you will feel the full wrath of the Empire. Not some corrupt admiral who lost last time to your fleet because they were paid off. No, you will find myself, the Grand Admirals, and probably Lord Vader himself. Do not make that mistake. And then I would say, now, remember, the Empire was here originally negotiating a trade arrangement. Do you not think that's a better solution here.
And with that, he's gonna kind of grab, those little frog-like creatures that huts eat. He grabs it out of like a dish next to him, and he rips its head off, and he spits it at the holocam, and he goes, "This is not the end you've heard of me!" And then he shuts it off, and then it just the hologram fades, and then the camera pans to the shuttle that is with Arden Lynn aboard it, going down to Toydaria, which is still in ruins, and that's where we'll end.
Excellent.
Oh my goodness.
That was awesome.
That was great.
Oh my god.
That was fantastic.
What'd you guys think?
Dude,
That was a lot of fun.
Just
I think TIE defenders are a little OP.
Well, remember, they're against stock rebellion fighters, you know?
hey, we're Top Gun.
Yes,
Come on.
exactly.
Yeah, you guys are crazy good, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
No,
I said,
absolutely,
it's
yeah,
sort of
it's,
like the New England Patriots playing against the Cleveland Browns. It's,
It wasn't very fair, but no. And I'll tell you what, if that's something that we can do, and we can have all those macros and everything already set up, ship combat is not scary at all.
Yeah, what do you guys think of that? Because I tried to, parse it down to make it simple. What did you guys think of this space combat and mass combat rules?
I mean, they're complicated enough that you did a great job, but for like a first time, it's always going to be a little bit complicated. But I do feel like if we played it again, I would feel very comfortable. I felt great by the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What I did mechanically is I knew what type of space combat's based off silhouette, like who you're attacking. So if I knew that, okay, all the starfighters you're attacking are going to be this silhouette, so I made the difficulty the same. And then the setback I just had based off their shields. But that's really all it comes down to is space combat. All the movement and everything is like periphery. You could really it depends on the type of people you're playing with. If you're playing with tactical gamers, maybe they'll want to get nitty gritty. But I built in all the for the Nebulons and everything. I built in all the armor reduction because I knew they were going to be attacking like the Eviscerator.
Yeah.
So I pre-built all that stuff. So
No, that's cool. But that's another thing that Sam could certainly do, or you, or runs these space combat games, could already have that set up, and it's it's not something that would just spring up anyway. So
yeah,
if we know we're doing that, that could all be predetermined. No, but I'll tell you what, there, Anthony, you did a great job. It was so much fun, dude.
Yeah, you were awesome. Thank you so much.
no, I'm glad you guys enjoyed. It was. This
Oh
is
my
what it's like to be the Empire. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. I hope you guys walked away feeling like this is what it's like to be the Imperials. You know what I mean?
Crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, it makes me want to play the F&D game now, dude.
Well, yeah,
Oh.
we've got a few things that we are gonna have to resolve now before I think we can do that. But yes, that was the appearance of Arden Lynn was very intentional. We'll just say that. And,
Shoot. Now we're gonna have to take her out too. Jeez.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck at
Yeah. I'll tell you that in
Jedi ever.
yeah.
Emmy's running on that one. I'll tell you that.
Good idea.
No, even Pyrene's like.
I'll tell you in Edge of the Empire, we are much less likely to see a space combat scenario like that. Very likely it would be our one ship against either other similarly sized ships or possibly a capital ship, but let's hope not.
That's awful.
Edge of the Empire is very much Han Solo running away from the Death Star, right?
Right.
Jump into hyperspace, or like in Rebels, they're always running away, right? They're always jumping out,
Right.
Good reason.
Right.
Yeah. But yes, that was very fun. I really, I love being able to, roll 34, boost dice or whatever it was.
That's amazing.
Ridiculous like that. That was crazy.
Yeah, it's really, really neat, guys.
I think overall, I really like this session because it set up a lot of stuff narratively that is now going to have to be addressed with our main cast. And I think that will be something that'll be very interesting, especially because we've basically are now looking at potentially at war in Hut space.
Oh yes, and thank you, Anthony. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, like
that.
I wanted to run. Sam's run a lot of games for Forest, so this was like my homage.
Well, I'm sorry.
Enjoyed it.
He means
I do mean thank you for
very
running
much.
it, but thank you for giving us an out.
You like that? Oh, hey, look, he gave me the reins.
Yeah.
Jumping.
Yeah, that, I thought Sam was gonna kill you.
I mean,
Like he's ruining my game now.
no. Well, it was good. I feel like that makes sense, to do that. But I feel like the way Admiral Zaarin is, like, he's in such a hard spot because, like, if that got back to the Empire would kill him, right? But at the same time, like, and I'll let you guys know, like, canonically, Zaarin ends up trying to overthrow the Emperor at one point.
Right.
And so the way I was playing this session is that I didn't necessarily want this to have a good ending because I could say I was under orders and look, I destroyed the rebels handily, but you don't defy the Emperor, And then I could say, but see what happens when you don't defy the Emperor? Follow me and I won't put you in that situation.
But also, you like really kind of played into it too in the beginning when you were saying like, well, and he really put you in it by offering you the territory as your own.
Yeah.
Because realistically, if you are going to take that territory, you can't be at war with the Hutts. Like you just can't be at war with them.
Right.
Yeah, but the problem is that you would have to take that territory. Like I can't just take Toydaria because
Eventually, but you don't want to be at war before you even take the territory. Like, you haven't even really taken it yet. So if this is going to be yours, if that is something that Zaarin would want in his belt for his eventual coup, then he's going to have to not be fighting with the Hutts right off the bat.
Right, exactly. So, and so now for our crew of the Mustang Sally, they now get to contend with the fact that there is a superstar destroyer in orbit along with the regular star destroyer. Now plenty of Imperial troops to try to lock things down, but some angry ass Hutts that might decide to do something because Nar Shaddaa and Nal Hutta is not that far away. So and Emperor's hand coming down onto the planet.
Yeah, and that, Anthony, though, I mean, I don't know if you got any direction from Sam, but that I have to say not thank you for. Because not good.
Well, it all started with when I'm like, hey, like when I was first hashing this out, it was like you guys were going to be an Imperial like lieutenant officer and then like, 3 stormtrooper sergeants. And then, it was when we were in the chat and, Sam probably jokingly threw out like, oh, yeah. Then I said, oh, what? I'll make a pilot, a sniper and whatever. And everybody wanted to be a pilot. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, okay, we can do that. Then, Sam's like, well, maybe I'll be a admiral. And I said, well, who? He's like, Admiral Zaarin. I'm like, oh, man, okay. So I just ran with it. And then it kind of all fell into place, Nice. And so I think, and then I said, well, if Admiral Zaarin worked with Arden Lin, and Sam and I talked a little bit about that kind of, and I said, well, Kiga, she's force sensitive, so why would the Emperor want him there? And that's kind of how we kind of fleshed it out. So,
yep. And so now I will tell you that if the Emperor could sense Kiga or a major disturbance in the Force on Toydaria, that's going to be interesting, to say the least.
Kiga's a bigger asset than we even know she is.
Yeah, than even I knew she was. So that's great.
Or is it the explosion that really created?
No, it can't
Not
be that.
necessarily. I mean, maybe, but
I don't want her
yeah.
to be in that much trouble.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it was definitely Kiga that was sensed. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I was definitely kicking.
for sure.
Ugh.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to end the broadcast. But yes, Anthony, thank you so much for running this for us. This was a blast. For anybody who watches this, the purpose of this session was to do exactly what it did, which was to both fill in some of the story of why the Empire was here in the first place, and to create new story that we can then use in the main campaign. I intend to do this from time to time with other characters as things come up, and also look forward to some games of Force and Destiny called Dark Disciples, which will very likely feature Arden Lin and possibly some other characters who we have already met, but we will see. So with that, this is Sam, Chalice and Chains, signing off.